Mm. Western Star, good to see you, man. Good to see you, brother. You doing well? The sun is like right there, but if I turn the cap around, you'll have a shadow and you won't be able to see my eyes. So I mean, I don't know. I haven't decided whether I'm going to squint or whether I'm just going to turn the cap around. And hopefully you're well, Western Star. Doing all right. Careful on that highway. I say it to you every single time, man, but I could say it to you 1,000 times a day and it would still be relevant. Careful on that damn highway. 401's a killer. Jim, good to see you. Thanks for popping. Freeway. There you go. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you. Long time. Either you've been busy or I haven't been here. Fuck, there's a fucking fly just. Oh. I need protein, but I don't need bugs in my coffee. It's not how I want to get it, you know? Not how I want to get my protein. Oh, fuck. I'm not doing this. Hold on. That's sorry. That sun is just absolutely brutal. Kelly, good to see you. Yo. Oh, oh, first one. Kelly, what am I smoking? Delivering a nasty engine oil to Mass. Fuck, I hate Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts in a car, but I hate it in a truck. It costs so much fucking money in fuel. It really does. Well, Kelly, right now I'm just smoking a cigarette, but I got two nice cigars all lined up nice. I got and this one I've never tried before. It's a Rocky Patel. It's called the Winter Collection, and I'm dying, absolutely dying to get into this. I really am. So we're gonna fire that up as soon as I'm done this smoke. Actually, I'm not gonna fire that one up because I started one last night, and it's another Rocky Patel, but it's a special edition, a 15-year special edition. So we're gonna polish this off, and then we're gonna get into that winter collection over there. But I'm just waking up. It's only 9:45 in the morning for me, so I'm just getting my coffee and my first couple of smokes here. Am I American? No, man. I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. I'm sitting up in Alberta, Strathmore, Alberta, Canada. If you're American and you don't know where Alberta is, it's the province that borders Montana. If I go 3 hours south of here right now, I'd be in Montana. I look over there like I can see the border, right? But if I go 3 hours that way, I would be in Montana. Uncle alert, baguette. Uncle alert, really? Supervisor, take a break. Uh, do you smoke weed? No, I don't smoke weed. Bow and buy, is that what it is? Bow and buy? Or bow and bee? And I don't. I'm a recovered drug addict. Uh, I'm a coke and crack addict, and I've been uh, clean now for just over 32 years. So I don't do any drugs. I don't smoke pot. I don't partake in any of it. Although in today's day and age, pot is just like drinking, right? It would be the same as having a beer, but I don't drink either. So I don't drink any type of alcohol, and I don't take any kind of drugs. Hi from Quebec, Penelope. Welcome in from Quebec. Good to see you. Patrick, good to see you, man. How the hell are you? Penelope, we're really glad to have another Canadian in here. Might have a few more. Golden Rupee, good to see you. Canadian, eh? Well, Canadians use A, right? They go, hey, how's it going, eh? We're going over there, eh? Like that. Um, but Americans got the, you know what I mean? We're going over there, and then we're gonna fucking go up the stairs. We're gonna go in the house. You know what I mean? I never got that. 4:45, where you're at? I'm not gonna pronounce that, Jessica. Was that Thoke? Thoke? Cooking with Gun Smokies, and good name. Good name. Good solid handle there. Trucking game. I'm glad you were able to recover. Thank you. Thank you. Me too, and a few people around me. Few people around me. I wouldn't be sitting here. It was one of those crossroads I had to come to in early life. That I had one of three choices to make in life. If I kept going the way I was going, I was either going to end up back in prison and incarcerated for the rest of my life, or my next choice was I would probably be dead. That would probably be the way I would have gone. I would have gone. I would have probably been dead by now. Excuse me. And or I could get clean and try to make a life for myself. And so that's kind of what I did. R.I.P. Kirk. Okay. Karen, good to see you. How the hell are you this morning? Funny, Karen, I was going, what the hell was it? I was just farting around on Facebook, and I don't do it very often. I don't use Facebook very often. I use it for almost for like a business purpose, right? But and it suggested um you and Alan. You know, you get suggestions for people. It was like, so it suggested you and Alan, and I think I requested to be your friend. If you don't want to be my friend, that's okay. Did I sell the truck? Yeah, truck is sold. Truck is gone. Well, the Freightliner is gone. Charlie became a victim of his own BS. Womp womp. He pissed off some people, that's for sure. I'm not going to make comments here on Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Um, I of course have my opinions, but this isn't the place for my opinions. Um, you know, I have them, but I'm not going to. If you guys, feel free to say how what your feelings are on it, but don't expect me to either agree with you or disagree with you. Okay. The only thing I will say about that is, regardless of a man's politics, religion, belief, or any orientation, nobody deserves to die. That's all, right? Nobody deserves to die. Whether you agreed with Charlie Kirk, whether you didn't agree with him, you liked him, you loved him, you hated him, whatever. Nobody deserves to die. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Good night from Brazil. Long way from here, man. Arsenio, you are a long way from home. Mr. B's, howdy's from North Carolina. Good to see you, my man. There's a lot going on, Mr. B's, as you know. Mr. B's is I don't have to be a conspiracy theorist because Mr. B's takes care of all of that for me. If there's anything that's hot off the press or it's in the back rooms of politics and the people don't know about it, Mr. B's usually does. And so, I find out about it through Mr. B's. Miracle Boy, good to see you. Tennessee TV, hey, what's up, Burner? Good to see you, man. Guys, you guys shut up for 2 minutes. Let me light this fucking thing, would you, please? There we go. Mm. If you got 'em, light 'em. Smoke 'em, boys. Hot take. I'm from Western Australia, and when I hear some Canadian accents, it sounds a bit Australian to me. What do you think of when you hear Australian accents? To Canadians or to me, Australian accents are very distinct. A lot of people will say it's, well, it sounds like an offshoot of like a little bit of British or Irish. To me, I can pick an Aussie out of a crowd. You could put 100 Brits in a room or 100 Irishmen and a Scotsman or whatever in a room, and I'll be able to pick out the Aussie in under 5 seconds. To me, it's just that you guys are very, very distinct. I love the Australia. I don't like the hard British accents. Um, I don't know, it's just something to just irritate. Probably because my grandmother was from England. She came over after the war. She was a war bride, and she had a very hard English accent, and she was a very mean woman. And so it probably has something to do with that. That's why I don't like the Australia or the English, the British accents. But Australians love them, love them. Lilyham, I have a daughter that lives in Melbourne. One of my daughters. I've got 6 daughters, and one of them lives in Melbourne. Where's it cheaper to live, Canada, the US? It all depends on where you are. Um, if you're living in one of the major let's just use Canada, right? Like, if you're living in, like, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, um, Victoria, Edmonton, if you're living in any of the major cities or surrounding areas, they're gonna be probably about as comparable to, say, a major, US city. Canada might be cheaper because, our real estate is not as harsh as yours. Um, our dollar sucks though. Like, I didn't check the dollar in the last couple of days, but I think it was like $1.48. So a dollar American, one of your American dollars is worth $1.48 Canadian. Tennessee, I'm just getting back into the swing of shit here. Victoria and I have been on vacation for a week. We went up to the mountains. I have one of my other daughters. She lives and works in one of the resort towns, with her and her husband and my granddaughter. So we went and spent a few days. So we went to Banff, we went to Jasper, and we went and visited. And so we did that up in the mountains for a couple of days. Not a couple of days. We were talking up there for 4.5 days. And then we went from there, we went to Edmonton. Don't ask me why I went to Edmonton, but the only reason I went to Edmonton, honestly, is one of my other daughters lives in Edmonton, and her boyfriend. So we went and hung out in Edmonton for a couple of days. So that was pretty good. So we had I guess it was like a mini vacation. It was about 6 days, and we got back yesterday afternoon. I didn't want to leave the mountains. I don't know if any of you have ever been to, like, small resort towns inside, up in the mountains, whether it be in Canada, the US, or over in Europe, and once you're there, man, you don't wanna leave. You just don't wanna leave. I didn't wanna leave. It was all I could do to get in the car and drive. It was killing me, Tennessee, to leave. It was absolutely gorgeous, and we had good weather. The weather was really, really good for the time that we were there. Um, oh, love them, love it. Where do you think liberals will get their news from with Kimmel being fired? The liberals, random pipe layer. That's another good name. You guys have got some good handles this morning. Uh, Let me tell you something. The liberals have no trouble, yeah, getting their news anywhere because I would say, and just my opinion, I would probably say that over 50% of anything that the liberals report or know, they make up themselves. They make up their own agendas. So, yes, we are friends now. We finally got the good news regarding financial fight. We have been and with the CRA. Looks like we will be home for a month soon. There you go. That's what we wanna hear. That's what we wanna hear. I will still hate this legacy. His I will still hate his legacy. Well, you know what? That's a right you have. Safety narc, that's a right you have. You have that right, you know? Dave Williams from England, welcome in. Just after I finished saying I don't like English accents. The adults Alex? The adults that are voting, by the way. Um, the adults are voting. Yes. Obviously, kids aren't voting. But in Canada, it's not just Canadian votes that are being counted. That ain't good. I smoke to get high, not to die. Well, you know what? I've already done all that. I've done the smoke to get high, and it didn't kill me, so now I might as well smoke to die. Can I buy guns in Canada like in the United States? Muna, no. No, our gun laws up here are very, very strict. They're very restrictive. The federal government several years ago even got tighter with it. So the list of weapons that we're allowed to have in private hands is very, very limited. Like I don't think we're allowed to have any handguns. Um, only select rifles that would be classified for hunting and stuff like that. So no, absolutely not. But on the other hand, and they came around and everybody that had registered weapons, they had to hand them in and everything like that. But I've said this before, just because we're not supposed to have them doesn't mean we don't have them, right? I should get out in the middle of the night and take a dump on my neighbor's doorstep. I've done that. We've got our lead on a red house to rent. We're hoping that we can get info and call about it again. Go get it. Rotten lungs if you smoke. Well, well, okay. All right. Rotten lungs if I smoke. Car wash, good to see you, Ryan. Damn. How's it going? Light one if you got 'em, Ryan. Got the good ones. Good morning, Camille. Good to see you, brother. How the hell are you? Sorry, I've been away, Camille, for a while. Victoria and I went on vacation last week, and we just got back yesterday. So I haven't been live, and this is the first one I've done in, well, probably about a week now. So thanks for popping in, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Male is our main moderator. He's got full moderator status on this channel. So if you get out of line, he will stomp you. He will warn you the first time, but then he will stomp you. There's to be no ethnic comments, no racial comments. Keep your religious comments to a minimum because we're not going to go down that path today. I don't feel like talking religion, but Kamel is the law. Saeed, nice to meet you too. Do I have a girlfriend? Yeah, I actually do. She's upstairs in bed sleeping because she's about to go on to a night shift. So she's sleeping today because she's got to get up and got to go into work later this afternoon or early evening type deal. So, what city is this? I'm in Strathmore. I had to think about where the hell I was. I'm in Strathmore, Alberta. Can't hang long today, bro. Everyone have a great day and be safe. Mr. Beast, thank you so much. Golden Rupee, we Aussies love Canadians too. It's funny that the Australians and the Canadians have a very, very casual but cool relationship. Not like us, where the British, for some reason, tend to think that they still rule Canada, they still run Canada, they still have anything to do with Canada, which they don't. But in the British mind, a lot of people over there tend to think that Canadians are beneath them. I don't know why. I'd much rather live in Canada than in England right now or over in Great Britain right now, any day of the week. But Australians don't. Australians are very cool, and so one of the things I love about Aussies is they're very laid back, they're very casual. It's like taking a bunch of Englishmen and giving them fucking Prozac and chilling them out, you know? That's what it's like, and that's what we love about Australians. They're much more, I guess, attitude-wise and the way they live their lives, is much more like Canadians. We're very laid back. Most Canadians are very laid back. We enjoy our lives. We work hard. We try the best we can. Not everybody. I'm not talking about all of Canada. Well, we've obviously got our bums and losers too, just like everybody. But I think if you want to compare Canadians and Australia, that would be a very good way to look at it. That they have the same aspect to life. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. There you go. Got a question, Burner. Are American women or Canadian better women? Which are better? Oh, dude, I could get myself in fucking trouble, but hopefully she's upstairs and actually sleeping and not watching me. Um, I would. That's a tough call. Tennessee, it's a tough call because your population is so much more. So you got more women to choose from. Now, being somebody that I've been to every state in the U.S. and in a 35-year trucking career, I've probably spent over half my life in the United States. So I know American women, and I'm going to tell you this, and some people aren't going to think this is popular. They think the best looking women. The Americans say, "Oh, the best women come from Texas," or "The best women come from." No. Do you want to know where the best looking, best built, smartest fucking women come from? I'm gonna tell you. Write this down, Tennessee. Fucking Iowa. If you fucking go through Iowa, I promise you, you go through Iowa, nothing competes with them. They're beautiful. They're absolutely stunningly gorgeous. They're tough as fucking nails, right? Absolutely tough as nails. Probably about 85% of them are farm girls. Tough as nails. Smart as a fucking whip. Absolutely fucking smart these women are. Best looking women in the United States come from Iowa. Now, you want the best women in Canada, it's gonna be the prairies, right? Now, okay, if you want the dirtiest women, like the women like a woman that doesn't know the word no, like, it's like, "Hey, can I put this in your mouth?" "Yeah." "Can I put this in your ear?" "Yeah." "Can I put this in your" Yeah, like, you go to Quebec. French women don't know the word "no" up here, right? And they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, French women are beautiful, but they're a little hoity-toity and whatever like that. The best women in Canada, as far as I'm concerned, for all around, beauty, brains, build, you come out to the Western provinces, you come out to probably Alberta. Alberta, and I'm not saying that because 'cause I'm in Alberta, but Alberta, Saskatchewan, good-looking women out here. So you could probably take a good-looking woman from Alberta and put her beside a good-looking woman from Iowa, and, you'd have a tough time picking. You really would. Am I a liberal? No, I am not a liberal. Perfect time for cation. Oh, absolutely. We had a great time. Sorry, I'm behind in the comments, so man, I'm just gonna go fucking scoot through these. We just went to open carry in Florida, win for us. Digital Demon, I'll be honest with you, being Canadian, I'm not allowed. But if I was allowed, if Canada had the same gun laws as the United States, I would. I would carry and conceal, or I would open carry if I was allowed to say like you are. I would. I have no problem with it. I know people in my family and my friends and everything like that, but "Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? Fuck that." No, no. You know what? It's one of those, well, if people say, "If nobody has a gun, then there's nothing to shoot," but people have them. People got them. It's in Canada, right? You think all the criminals turned in their fucking handguns? You think all the criminals, so there are guns out there. There's lots of them. I can go into Calgary right now in under fucking 2 hours, I can purchase a fucking firearm. Anything I want, I can get it. Does it mean that, does it mean that, so in my opinion, I think that if instead of having the underground population having weapons and the main population not, fucking arm everybody. Let nature sort it out. I read news. Canada got everywhere Indian. We did. We didn't get everywhere Indian. We got quite a few of them over the last, say, 10 years. There's been a massive influx of Indians, Pakistani, Afghanis, a lot from that region. Does cigar give? Yes, it does. You don't inhale cigar smoke, right? You don't inhale cigar smoke. What you do is you take it into your mouth, you hold it into your mouth, and then you either blow it out of your nose or you slowly blow it out of your mouth, but you get the flavor. You want the flavor. The nicotine gets absorbed by the pores on the inside of both sides of your cheeks. And it is. One of these cigars, this one's a little smaller, but say like a full size, right? That's a Toro. That's a 60. A full-size cigar like that, that there is equivalent to 1 pack of cigarettes worth of nicotine. So, yeah, you smoke one of those, you are getting some nicotine. And at one point, I was smoking 3 to 4 of those a day. Aussies have the best accents, I agree. Carney is a buffoon, I agree. You should take a look in China. I got no desire. Although, you know what, for some reason, I've been seeing a lot of like touristy things about certain regions of China. This resort or this hotel, and it's up in the mountains and it's built into a cliff. And I mean, come on, it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, beautiful. And you're looking out over if you look over the railing, you look down, it's like I don't know what the height is, you're 1,000 feet or whatever down, but you're actually looking over into the mountain range. It's absolutely beautiful. Something like that I would do. Good morning, surviving with Terry. Good to see you. I would rather live in the good old USA than anywhere else in the world. Well, you know what? And you should. You should. And this is my opinion, but if you're Canadian, be proud to be Canadian. Be proud to be Canadian. If you're an Australian, be proud to be Australian. Say Aussie rules. Or if you're an American, well, you don't have to fucking ask an American. They'll tell you themselves. America's got no problem telling you that they're the greatest place in the world. But whatever country, it doesn't matter whether you're from India, Pakistan, England, Scotland, Australia. If that's your country and that's where you're born, raised, and that's where you are, be proud of where you're from. I'm Canadian. As far as I'm concerned, um, I'm proud to be Canadian. I'm not proud of our politics. I'm not proud of the face that represents Canada to the world, being our Canadian government. I have no faith and no love for any of those asshats. But am I proud to be Canadian? Absolutely. This is my home. You know. Now, could I live somewhere else? Yeah, there's a few other countries that I would seriously look at. I really would. I would take a really hard look at. Nikki Lee, good to see you, sweetie. Baby, how are you? Nikki, grab your cigar and go light it up. All women are great. Well, you know what? I can't disagree. I can't disagree. Um, women come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and I've played with them all, man. And you're right, Nikki. They are good. They're great. All women are great. That and I would sound like a total fucking hypocrite with a guy being with 6 daughters, right? I have to go to Iowa sometime, dude. Let me tell you something. Check into Des Moines, and then work your way out from Des Moines. Oh, beautiful. Tennessee, think about it this way. I'm gonna put a vision in your head, and I want you to tell me if you can think of something better. Okay? There is nothing sexier, okay, than seeing a very nicely built woman, for whatever your preference is, whether it be a little bit chubby or tall or thin or build or whatever your preference is. Find that woman, put her in a really nice pair of fitting jeans, put her up on a fucking combine and have her out in a field. How you doing? And then have her doing whatever and watch her. Show me something better than that. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I kinda guessed when they were sitting there that yeah. I didn't think they were going up to. If you can put another set up to my bedroom and make the walk a little easier, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, that'd be good. Thanks, man. We're having new steps put in the back of the house today, so he's just letting me know it's going to be either some point today or tomorrow. But I agree with Nikki Lee. Country girls rock. City girls are hot and they have their fun. But the French Canadians do not know how to say no, or at least the women don't. Do me a favor, folks, hit the like button. I don't ask for subs. If you want a sub, knock yourself out. I appreciate it. I'll take a sub, but do me a favor and hit the like button. 2-4 is in the door. Oh my God, another Canadian, and there's our there. I think that's our third moderator in. So 2-4 again is he has a full mod status, and he can stomp your nuts into dust if he wants to. But he's a good boy. Saying hi to Karen. Watched a lot of mates cough their lungs out after inhaling a cigar for the first time. Well, you don't inhale them, you know. South side, you don't inhale them. They're not made to be inhaled. They're not like cigarettes. I love our rights and freedoms. Good community can be found in any country, but the laws and freedoms can be far different. Well, they are, and if you look at some of the things that happen when, say, I don't know, but say a Middle Eastern guy brings his wife over here, and there are certain laws about in that country about which how his wife is supposed to conduct herself, and she comes over here, and those laws no longer apply. And then the man, next thing you know, he's beating his wife. He's doing, and that's illegal here. You can't beat your women. You can't discipline your women that way. And then then there's legal problems, and then they turn around and go, but it's our religion. Well, how do you argue that? And how do you fight that? Well, yes, it's your religion, but if you're coming to a country like Canada, you should already know if obviously you're coming here for a reason. You're not coming over here because things are hunky dory and wonderful in your country if you're trying to get out. So you're obviously coming here for a reason. So what are the reasons you're coming here? Well, if you're coming here because you're looking for a better way of life, nicer country to live in, less violent, better politics, nicer, whatever your reasons are, you're coming here for a fucking reason because it's not so great where you are. Maybe look at the laws and everything that are here because the laws that you can beat your wife over there or she has to be fully covered over there or your children, whatever, may not be here. And, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And it's happened lots of times. It's happened lots and lots of times where, they've done things to little girls that, it's a religious practice in their country. But you come over here and do that, you're going to jail for fucking 8 years. Right. Well, Tom01, would I live in the UK? I've never been to the UK. Pike Truckin lives in the UK. Crag Rat lives in the UK. A couple other of our friends live in the UK, and they all want out. So I don't know. What does that tell you, right? Arian, I'm Canadian. I'm from Canada. Abdullah, I just came across your stream and I really love your content. Love from Pakistan. Hey, man, thanks for being here and welcome in from Pakistan. Welcome in from Pakistan. Kick it in, sit down, grab your coffee, relax. If you got something to say it. Poland is the best, very safe country. It may well be. You know what? I've never been to Poland. I'm gonna tell you this though, like in November we're going down to the Caribbean for a week, and then in May of next year we've booked a month and we're going to be in Europe. So, but we have not set the date. Like we've blocked the time and pay, and we know where we're going. So we know we're going to go to Holland, France, Italy, Germany, Spain. And once we've done those 5, we're gonna branch out. We're gonna branch out and do other countries, you know? So, it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that I could end up in Poland, or any country that's not on that main list. Firefighter Jimmy, did you see them play this week? They're first in the Eastern Division, man. First in the Eastern Division. They're gonna make some noise. They're gonna do well. Toronto Blue Jays. I'm not proud to be Italian. I'm proud of the history that my country has, but what it is now is absolutely no. I'm proud of my Sardinian heritage, and to be born here. Well, you know what? Grab hold of what you are and be proud of it. Howard Stern has done worse than Jimmy Kimmel. Well, Howard Stern, you expect how that from Howard Stern. That you know, I've been watching Howard Stern since since he got on the radio. Back in his New York days, when he was fighting the government and fighting all the rules and regulations. And sometimes I believe that Howard Stern doesn't even believe the shit he says. But what he is back then and even today, not so much today because he's not serious, but he's a shock jock. He's a reactionist. He will purposely say something to fire up and get a reaction, and then he sits back and watches the individual reactions. And he's probably the best in the business at it. Absolutely the best in the business. I'm going to Des Moines 10-5. I'll meet you there, buddy. I'll be bringing my girlfriend with me, though. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna jump. I mean, like, I'm just gonna jump comments here. You guys are fucking killing it. There's 126 of yous in here. I can't do comments that fast. My college roommate was wealthy Saudi, and he was completely against Arabic culture and as it refers to women, but he respected the laws while he was there. That's the thing. That you're actually right. Y- Respect the laws of where you are. If I went to Saudi Arabia or if I went to India or whatever, do you think that I could get away with things over there that I could do over here? No. It's against the law. If it's against the law there, you have to respect the law, and that's something that you have to do, and you have to know that going to the country. Tennessee, um, our healthcare here's the thing. People think our healthcare is free. It is like, if I broke my arm right now, I could go to the hospital, they'd set the bone, put a cast on it, and send me out the door, and I'd never see a bill. But our taxes are significantly higher than yours, and a portion of our taxes go to that, right? So is it free? Yes. You know, I I've got 6 daughters, and from what I understand in the United States, for a woman to go into the hospital and have a baby, it's in excess of over $20,000. Um, for us to go to the hospital, if my girlfriend was pregnant and she was gonna have a baby, she could go into the hospital, have the baby, everything be fine, spend maybe a day or 2 in the hospital, and bring her home, and we'd never see a bill for that. But our taxes do pay for it. But no, and I'd rather have it that way. I'd rather pay the extra taxes than be stuck with a bill. Here's another example. My grandfather was in Florida, and he was playing golf, and he dropped dead on the golf course. He was dead before he hit the ground. He had a massive heart attack. And then, so obviously the paramedics came. He went to the hospital. They did all the shit and everything like that. The bill for all of that, and then they had to. My grandmother had to get him back into Canada and everything. The bill for all of that was in excess of 200 something thousand dollars. Okay, 200 something thousand dollars. Now, luckily, first of all, she had that kind of money and she could stroke that check, and that's fine. But she had out of country coverage, like a lot of Canadians do. When we go to the US, we extend our coverage from wherever we are here, and we cover ourselves while we're down there because I'm not taking a fucking $200,000 bill or leaving a $200,000 bill. But in Canada, if that had happened on the golf course here, there would have been no bill. Beating a woman is low and wrong in every way. Absolutely. Absolutely agree. You don't put your hands. There's 2 things. You don't put your hands on your woman, and you don't put your hands on your kids. I am one of those guys, and I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it. If I see some fucking guy smacking his kid out in his front lawn, and I don't mean like, okay, the kid's like 5 and he's getting a little smack on the ass, that's one thing. But if I'm looking at some guy and he's putting it to a kid, look out. Look out. Free Diddy? Are you fucking crazy? Give your head a shake. Bent Tom? That's a very good statement. They're very self-sufficient. Um, they're I think Canadians have an advantage that the Americans. I'm just going to use the Americans because they're our closest neighbor, and it has to do with the population. There's 345 or 350 million Americans. There's only 45 million Canadians. The state of California has more fucking people in it than Canada does. So I think that enables us not to have to live the hustle and bustle of life isn't as bad because there's not as many people. It's like you take an ant hill and you kick it over and you watch the ants scatter. Well, that's the United States because there's so fucking many people, right? Now here in Canada, we don't have that. We have more land than the United States. We're the second largest country in the world, square mile wise, and there's only 47 million of us in it. So, we don't have the hustle and bustle. We don't have the so we are a little more laid back. We are a little more accepting. Canada does have the we are the friendliest people in the world. But don't get me wrong. Um, don't you don't want to piss off Canadians, especially at hockey season. You start fucking around with Canadians in hockey season, man. You'll be going back to your country with a fucking hockey stick in your ass, asking the surgeon to take that out for you. Free and independent as a USA citizen, I can't afford to go anywhere. I'm sorry to hear that. Brian, you need to come to Nova Scotia. I knew that when I said that West Coast women were the best, that Karen was going to pipe in there, and I know I'm behind, but Karen, I've been to Nova Scotia. My entire family, both sides. One's from Spring Hill and one's from Truro. One grandfather's from Spring Hill and one's from Truro. And so my family, I've got there's you go to Truro, uh, Nova Scotia, and you look up in the phone book Brown, which is my last name, and there are fucking we're all over the own Truro. That's how many people there are in Truro. So yes, I understand. East Coast women are hardy. They've had to live a harder life because it's a little harsher living on the East Coast than it is out west. How's that? How's that? Does that ease it a little bit? Jimmy Kimmel has always been a liberal shell. I don't. You know what? I couldn't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I couldn't watch him. I really couldn't. I'm sorry. If you're a Jimmy Kimmel fan, I hope I'm not insulting you, and if I am, I really don't care. But fuck it, I couldn't watch Jimmy Kimmel. Remember Beetlejuice on Howard Show? Loved him, little bastard, little bastard. Do you know that at one point Howard was supporting all of them? Right? Not only did Howard Stern was getting 100 million a year from Sirius. Right, so on a 5-year gig, because he's usually signed up for 5 years at a pop, he was getting 500 million, but out of that 500 million, he had to pay Robin, he had to pay all of those people, all of his own staff out of his pocket, and he was supporting Beetlejuice, and what's the crazy broad's name? What was that fucking crazy woman's name? She was fucking hilarious. I haven't watched Howard Stern or listened to Howard Stern in ages. Waxy Pax, there's a buck 99, thank you very much. Beat spell red. Beat spell red? Okay. Ron Jeremy's mustache. You're showing your age there, if you know who Ron Jeremy is, Ethan. You're showing your age. Ethan, Ron Jeremy's mustache. Okay, Ethan, let's see how old you really are. What was Ron Jeremy's nickname? If you're paying taxes, it's not free. Doggone crazy. You're absolutely right. It's right. So when they say it's free healthcare, it's only free because the Americans and other countries see that we go to the hospital, we don't get a bill. At the end of the day, we pay for it. I've never lived in Canada, but I lived and worked in England as my ex-wife was English, and I understand as they also have national health system, but pay a much higher tax rate. Now, in Canada as well, they've started some of the stuff that they used to pay for, they don't. Like your glasses that they don't pay for. Like teeth, dental work, that's all different. You pay for that, right? If you need prescription glasses, hopefully you work at a company that has benefits and then your benefit package will pick up your glasses or hearing aids or dental work or anything like that. Our medical system is just strictly for medical, right? And now they even stopped covering, say, for example, as a truck driver, I gotta go every couple of years and I gotta have, an MTO, or in the States, it would be a DOT medical. They don't pay for that anymore, right? I have to pay for that myself. Now, I don't have to do that anymore because I'm retired and I don't drive truck anymore, so that's kinda nice. See, there's bent Tom, there's a how do you pay that? A $452,818 bill for open heart surgery. How does somebody pay that? Like, that would bankrupt you. So, do you have separate coverage? I know they got copay and they got, different things. There's certain things that you don't pay the full bill on 452. But, like, if somebody handed me a bill for, like, I I was in I was in Indiana, and, when I had to have emergency eye surgery done, and, for an emergency eye surgery, before I was there for 3.5 days, and when I left, they handed me a bill for 48,000 bucks. Now, again, I just took the bill, submitted it to my insurance company because I carry out of country coverage, but still, a $42,000 bill for fucking eye surgery? How do you guys sustain that, right? I couldn't do that. 4 months in intensive care. Again, that's ridiculous. Right. If you're gonna be in Des Moines October 5th to the 8th, no, no, no. I just came Ryan, I just got back from vacation, this week. I just got back last night, so we just took a vacation this week. We got a week's vacation in November, and then in May, we're taking the whole month of May off, and we're going to Europe, so, no. I had 2 toes and 1 finger amputated, a lack of blood after heart surgery, and they won't pay for replacement prosthetics. That up here now, up here in Canada, I'm not sure about the prosthetics. Ben, I don't wanna tell you that, "Yeah, we cover it," or, "No, we don't." I don't know. I don't know. But Nick Brown, free Russia, free Epstein. Isn't Epstein dead? What do you mean I can't educate my kids with my hands? Are you crazy? Well, Andrea, no, that's not to say that you can't fucking hey, I'm a firm believer, and my kids all got paddled. You know, I was raised that way, Andrea. I was raised that way. My grandfather, when we messed up, my grandfather would send us out, like we'd be on the farm, we'd send us out to the forest, and we had to pick our own switch, right? Which is a long branch that's, it's like a whip. And you had to go out and pick your own switch and give it to him so he could whoop you with it. Right? Talk about a mind fuck. So I got no problem with that. You want to paddle your kid's ass and tune him in, that's one thing. But the minute you close your fist and you fucking close your fist and you hit a child, that's a different story, you know? That's a different story. Unless the kid's 20 and takes a swing at you, then it's all hands off. You go. Free Dahmer, free Bundy. You guys are on it. Brian, I have something to get your feelings on that happened in the Niagara region, but I don't think it's right for YouTube and the channel. Send me an email, wheelburnerexpress@gmail.com. Do I know Reed Julian and Bubbles? No, unfortunately, I don't. It's funny, you'd be amazed how many times I go somewhere and as they find out I'm Canadian, especially in the southern states, you get down to the southern states, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you know Wayne Gretzky?" "No, I don't know Wayne Gretzky." "Oh, he's Canadian." "Well, fuck, do you know everybody in the United States?" But they assume that Canada's so small and there's so few of us that we all know each other and we all hang out and we're all best friends, and it's like, "No, I don't know any of these Canadian celebrities," right? A clean mind. A clean mind is powerful than all. I can't disagree with that. Robin is co-host on Stern Show, yeah, but he had to pay her salary. Wow. FS says Jesus loves me a lot. Disney's all channel and horrible story. Are you in America? No, I'm in Canada. I'm about an hour behind the comment. I'm going right to the end. I've met all the Trailer Park Boys numerous times. Yeah, you could 2-4, you could probably be a Trailer Park Boy. Okay. I have no doubt in my mind that you could fit right in, you know, and be a Trailer Park Boy. You guys give me 1 second here. I have the sun just pounding down on me and it is hot as shit. There we go. Much better. Much better. Oh, let me just do this here. Where is Bubbles? Don't have a clue. Bubbles could be anywhere. What's the temperature up there? Right now, well, just before I came out here, about an hour, what are we at? Almost an hour. It was about 15 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but 15. But now it's probably closer to 20, right? It's 10:30 in the morning for me right now. Um, if you think AC/DC rules, look at this one. That's boss, man. That's fucking boss, man, right there. AC/DC rules. AC/DC's in my top three, but this is my top. This is number one right here. 15 is cold. No, 15 Celsius is not cold. 15 Fahrenheit, yeah, that's like below zero. You're freezing your ass off. But in Celsius, 15, come on, man, we're in Canada, right? I'm 55 years old. I've lived in Canada all my life. 15 degrees is not cold, you know? We don't usually put our fucking snow wear on until there's 4 feet of snow and it's -10. Mm. Come on, come on. Oh, I'm a big fan of Finnish metal rock. I have been listening to more and more, and I'm not going to say a lot of it, but I've just been kind of trickling into it because it's kind of just the European metal scene, a lot different than the North American heavy metal scene. The metal over there is harder. It's got a more of a grounded, like hard. I don't know how to describe it as compared to say like you take a band like say Metallica or Megadeth or Slayer, anything like that. When you think of typical metal bands in North America, and then you go over to Europe, and they are a faster playing, and they are much harder. And I'm actually starting to enjoy some of it, believe it or not. I wear running shoes all winter and doe-skin coat. Exactly, Karen. I wear hoodies, and I wear in the winter. I wear hoodies, and then I layer. Right? So I will if it's a really cold day, say it's -20, -25, um, I'll put on a long sleeve, insulated shirt, and then I'll put on another long sleeve cotton T-shirt, and then I'll put on a T-shirt like this, and then I'll put on my hoodie, and that will sustain me. Yes, I agree. North American metal has a different feel to it. And if you watch them, I've been watching some of it on YouTube. I should have taken some notes because I kind of really got into it the other day. I fell down this rabbit hole of European metal bands, and I wasn't taking note of any of their names and anything, but I was really, 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 really enjoying it. And let me tell you, these guys were just fucking killing it. It's their style, their speed, and it's also their precision. Okay, I'm gonna give the European metal scene something. Their precision playing is fantastic. Like, we have precision metal players up here that are very, very good, not that good. Either way, I'm enjoying the shit out of it. So Rush is still one of my favorite of all time. Van Halen and Led Zeppelin. Ben, being Canadian, I'm proud that Rush is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm proud that they're Canadian. And they are a hell of a musical band. The minute Geddy Lee opens his mouth, I'd rather listen to a cat scratch his fucking nails down a fucking chalkboard. That man's voice sends me into a fucking tizzy, and I will run. Like, if somebody quarter mile that way was playing Rush and I could hear it, I would run full blast over there just to turn it off. Ew, ew. I agree. Van Halen, great. Zeppelin, of course. Gods. I'm in Florida right now wearing a hoodie and it's 86 degrees. Yeah, we used to laugh, right? We used to laugh all the time. Being a truck driver, I used to, I deliver down to the States. So we deliver down to Florida, or say you get down to, say, Laredo or San Antonio or anywhere along the coast, right? The Gulf Coast down there. Fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. And we as Canadians jump out of our truck and we're wearing t-shirts, a pair of pants and your shoes, and all of the guys that are coming over to offload you, because we were I was a flatbed driver, and they'd be wearing long sleeve jackets, their toques and their pants and their mittens, and it's like the first thing they do is they look at you and go, "Hey, you're Canadian." I went, "Yeah." It's like, "What was your first clue?" Well, it's only fucking, whatever it is here. It's 70, 65 degrees or 70 degrees. They're freezing, and yet, here we are. I'm ready to pull out the lawn chair and just sit back in the sun. Love it. It's not Rush, Fred, it's not the band. Neil Peart, arguably, not even arguably, but I would say arguably the best drummer of all time. I've seen Rush, I've seen Neil Peart live, musicianship-wise, instrumentally wise, they are a great because they're only a three-piece band, they're a trio. They're all great musicians. It's just Geddy Lee's voice. It's his voice. If you took Geddy Lee out and put any other singer in there, I'd be happy. I'd be a big Rush fan, but, it's just Geddy Lee's voice. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Same with David Bowie. I can't listen to David Bowie, right? There was a couple of times we were in the car and Victoria had just had a random playlist on playing, and a Bowie song would come on, it would be like, forward, next." Nope. Rush and David Bowie are the 2 I just can't listen to. You're a massive jazz fan. I don't mind jazz, I'm a massive blues fan. When I'm not listening to like rock or like AC/DC, Zeppelin, whatever like that, Bad Company. When I'm not listening to that, I'm listening to Robert Johnson, Buddy Guy, BB King, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf. The king of the blues right now is Joe Bonamassa, Gary Clark Jr., all of those guys, all of those guys. That's where I'm at. You want to hear where rock and roll came from. You want to hear where music came from. That's where it came from. I've heard all Rush tracks where they changed Geddy Lee's AI Rush tracks and it was better. I've never tried that, but I still don't think I'd want to, because even though I'm playing along and I'm listening to somebody else's voice, I know it's Geddy. I hear Geddy Lee's voice in my head. Plantation blues. So you're talking P12, PJ12, you're talking like cotton picking blues. So yeah, that is if you want to get right down to it, that's Robert Johnson right there, right? Robert Johnson. You know who did a really good cover? Eric Clapton, about fucking 15, 20 years ago, did all of Robert Johnson's songs and put it out back then it was a CD, and it was fantastic. Clapton did a fantastic fucking job on it. My opinion, best drummer was and is John Bonham. Well, that's why I said Neil Peart, arguably, because there's always John Bonham is going to be, number two or number one. They can bounce back and forth, number two, number one. Keith Moon from The Who, power drummer extraordinaire. Ginger Baker, super, like, same as John. He's in the same, like, John Bonham was a power drummer, right? Neil Peart was not a power drummer. He was a precision artistical drummer. John Bonham was power and hardcore power. Uh, Ginger Baker from Cream, same thing. Um, Keith Moon from The Who, power drummers, fantastic power drummers. Jason Bonham, his son is actually a really good drummer too. Very, very talented. That's a great album. He was just in Philly, but I got sick. My friends went. I've seen Clapton twice. Um, I saw him in the early '90s, and then I saw him about 10 years ago. Let me tell you, there was 2 different Claptons I saw. Now he's still God. He's still the best, or one of the best. You would almost think that as these guys get older, that their speed and precision and everything would slow down a bit. And I would say, yeah, Clapton has, Buddy Guy has, a lot of these guys that are, they're in their 70s and 80s now, and that do they have the hand speed that they used to? Clapton maybe has lost a step, and the way to tell is you watch him. There's a couple of live performances with Clapton over in England. He's on stage with Joe Bonamassa. And Joe Bonamassa, I think Joe Bonamassa actually had to back it down a bit because he didn't want to embarrass Eric Clapton, which is probably a good idea. But Clapton can still play. He's still got it. He's still got, and what he's got is he can, if you look at Eric Clapton's like library of music, right? Cream, harder rock, right? Yardbirds, um, his solo, right? Well, his solo shit, the '80s, Clapton's '80s shit sucked. Okay, it was fucking garbage. But anyway, but his '90s and all of that, and a lot of the work he's done with other artists, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He's got a library it's like the Rolling Stones. His musical library is fucking huge, right? And it's gone all the way from Delta blues all the way up to contemporary rock. How do you do that? Bonham and Ginger for me, Ben, I can't disagree with you. Okay, I can't disagree. That is an argument. If you took, 4 or 5 of that era type drummers and you put them together, who do you pick? It'd be a tough call. Bonham and Ginger, I can agree. I actually prefer Jeff. I love Jeff Beck. I love performance. Do you know how many performances are out there with Jeff Beck and Clapton? Go look them all up, Tom. You'll love them. Moon is great. Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins' son sounds like Taylor did. Did you say? Well, I actually watched that tribute, and when his boy, what the hell was his son's name? His boy came out and did My Hero. Holy fuck, that kid can swing. Really good. Really, really good. I didn't expect that. Let me put it this way. I didn't expect it to be that good. It was. Yeah. Cream is my all-time favorite, for Clapton, but I have respect for him as a musician no matter. Oh, love Clapton is when I sit and think about, like, all the guitarists, and I'm talking about across all genres, I can sit and listen. If you wanna listen to the best of Eric Clapton, Bent, I want you to go, Google, there's an album that he did, it's a live album. It was recorded in 1979 in Japan, and the name of the album is called Just One Night. Okay. Go listen to that album. That was Clapton in the midst of his worst drug use, putting out his best music. Go listen to that album. I promise you, you will have a new respect for him. I don't know all the names and stuff. After all, famous people were found out to be such bad people. Not all, but a lot. I couldn't love them the same. I dig the music, movies. That's another thing, eh? And we have that with musicians and fucking athletes and movie stars. People put them on a pedestal, and then for years you think, oh, these people are fantastic, and then you find out that they're actual dirtbags, and it ruins it for you. Movies that you used to love that you won't watch now because the guy was diddling found out, they found him diddling, a couple of kids, fucking whatever. I met Jeff twice, and he was so humble and kind. That would be like a bucket list thing for me, like to meet Jeff Beck or meet Eric Clapton. I've met Buddy Guy. Actually, I've met Buddy Guy twice. Um, I never saw BB King. I had the chance a couple of times to see BB King when he was in Canada, and he always played the casinos. And I never got. I had the chance to do it. I never pulled the trigger. Excuse me. Sorry. Buddy Guy seems so cool. Well, you got to remember, Buddy Guy he's 89, something like that, 87, 89. So when he started playing when he was 17, he actually pulled the strings, he pulled a screen door apart and made his very first guitar when he was a young boy. That is how he learned to play guitar. He pulled a who would think to do that, to pull a screen apart? But that's how far back. Now, Buddy Guy has played with all of the greatest, right? All the greats. Um, and Buddy Guy was actually it, on tour with Sonny Boy Williams, right? Sonny Boy was Buddy Guy's mentor. Can you get a better fucking mentor than that, right? And then, of course, he was big back in the day with when BB King broke with the electric and when absolutely blew everybody's brains out and. Mm. It was the loudest show. It measured 127 decibels. Um, I never saw BB King. I really wished I had. I really wished I had. It was one of those things. Obviously, you can't do it now. Brian May and his dad made his guitar. He still plays it. I saw somebody saying that Brian May and Clapton, and Brian May are your favorites. Chad Longnecker, nice name. Fucking nice handle, dude. Like that. I think so far you've got the handle of the morning. Good job on that. Love Brian May. I'm a massive Queen fan. Again, let's go this route. Arguably greatest vocalist of all time, Freddie, right? Freddie Mercury, greatest vocalist of all time. There's not a lot of other vocalists of that era or even today's era that had the absolute precision and range. Like the guy could go as low and as high, and he could hit them all perfectly, and then run from the top to the bottom seamlessly. Fantastic vocally. Love Freddie Mercury. I also see somebody saying Steve Perry. Steve Perry's another one. Again, Paul Rogers, underrated, totally underrated as a vocalist. Paul Rogers, Bad Company. Come on, man. You go listen to all of Bad Company's music. Fantastic. I think he was 3 octaves along with Mariah Carey. Yeah, the male vocalists, I think are the list of the best male vocalists wouldn't be as long as the female vocalists. Like, okay, here's one right now, and some may agree, some may not. Edgar and Johnny played together. The Winter Brothers, fucking right they did. Um, Edgar Winter was a little more wild with his playing, and Johnny was a little more refined. Um, but they were both great guitarists. Fantastic. But here's one right now, and I saw somebody had the word Mariah in there, right? But who is the all-time greatest, the best female vocalist of all time. Who is it? Axl Rose at one point? I don't know. Chad, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I was on the GNR bus for a lot of years, man. I really was. But would I put him up in the top 5? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I saw Bobby McFerrin, oh my god, in a small theater in Pennsylvania back in your nights, and his vocal control was insane. Somebody saying Janis is the best female vocalist of all time? Nope. Chad got it. Nina Simone? I'll give your head a shake. No, Chad got it. Whether you like that genre of music or not, I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody. You go listen to Whitney Houston's entire musical library and you listen to what she was doing with her voice back in the fucking 80s that they're doing now, but she was doing it back then. And she was doing it without auto tune, without any assistance, without any digital recreation, nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you right now. Whitney Houston, arguably the greatest female vocalist of all times. Am I John McPhee's twin brother? No, but that is one hard motherfucker. John McPhee is. That is one hard dude. You don't want to break into his place. Let me tell you right now. You may go in on your feet, but you're not going out on your feet. Let me tell you. Are we? Oh, sorry. What's that? Are you talking pure technical abilities? No, I'm just talking all around. Like you take Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey is another one. If you wanna really and again, these are not people that I buy their music or listen to their music religiously, but I've seen live performances of, like, Christina Aguilera doing James Brown's "It's a Man's World." Go look that up. She's wearing a white suit, like an old James Brown white suit, and she's live. Go look up her doing that fucking song. Incredible. Her range, I shit you not, garage doors were opening and closing all over the fucking city, wherever the fuck that the recording was. It was phenomenal. I like K-pop. I don't. Unipon Cube, I agree. I agree. I think Whitney is probably the top, and then you can shuffle around like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, Mariah Carey, Christina Aguilera. Fucking this pains me to say, but Lady Gaga, incredible. This pains me even more to say, um, Miley Cyrus. Come on, man. I watched her do Rebel Yell live on stage with Billy Idol, and then I saw her, do Howard Stern, and she did Nothing Else Matters with Metallica backing her, and then she's on stage with Dolly Parton doing Jolene. Who the fuck can do that? Who has that kind of talent and has that kind of vocal range and has that kind of to be able to do that? Miley Cyrus does. Applejack, I disagree. I disagree. Whitney is the best singer for the whites. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, what are you gonna say? Okay, if you're in the colored community, who's the best? Who's the best? Who's the best vocalist? What are you gonna say? Like Etta James? Again, Etta James, Aretha Franklin. Yeah, that's soul. That's the grandmama of soul right there. Um, who is it? Who do you say? My ex says Mariah Carey. Could be. Greg, good to see you, man. How the hell are you, brother? Another Canadian in the door. We're having that old argument, Greg. Best singers of all time, female and male. Aretha Can did outsing Mariah. She might have. She might have. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was phenomenal. Big Jack, you sit there and just think about, okay, if she was still alive, Amy Winehouse, we were listening to Amy Winehouse. I like Amy Winehouse. I really do. Um, she was one of those women that like she could sing the phone book and I would listen to it. Who said Whitney Houston is white? She's not white. I think they were just referring to the white community, thinking that Whitney was the greatest. If you're not talking about technical ability, I think it's all based on personal opinion, and a lot of it is. Alana Miles, good Canadian girl. Yeah, good range on her. She can sing. I've seen her a million times. Oh, there's one. Drew, I am apologize. Drew's absolutely right. How the fuck did I forget Adele? There's another one. I don't care what she can sing anything. Adele could sing anything, and I would listen to it. Absolutely listen to it. Phenomenal range on her, and phenomenal power when she needs to belt. You know what I mean? Like a Janis Joplin belt. Adele can do it. Steak or chicken? I'm in Alberta, man. We're steak out here. Miley doing Heart of Glass, exactly. Big Jack, where are you going to find another performer? With maybe the exception, I think, of Lady Gaga, because Lady Gaga did that whole thing with Tony Bennett doing jazz. She's done work with country. She's done work, obviously, with rock, with metal. She's done metal, covered metal tunes. She's another one that can do it all. Hannah Montana does it too. What happened to Charlie Kirk? He's no longer with us. Hello from the UK. Only facts. Good to see you, man. Who do you think the best white rapper is? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It ain't Vanilla Ice. Come on, man. The best white rap. Why? Okay, here. Why don't you do it this way? Instead, why don't you take the color out of that? Deadpool, take the color out. Who do you think the best rapper is of all time? Right? Or maybe not of all time. Let's say in the last 25 years. In the last 25 years, who is the best rapper in the last 25 years? In the last quarter century? Ella Fitzgerald? Love Ella. Alanis Morissette is too squeaky. She's too squeaky. You know, when she'll sing a note and she'll put that on the end of it. I can't listen to that. This is really amazing. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, Jarrett. Amy was gone too soon. Well, I think didn't Amy join the 27 club? Right? She died at 27. Like what was it? Jim Morrison, fucking Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse. There was a couple of them. They all died on they joined the 27 club. Meet the Davidsons. Got a cigar. Yeah, we're doing okay with this with the cigars this morning. This is a Rocky Patel special edition. It's a 15 year. Really good. If you like cigars, as far as cigars go, this is a very good cigar. And it won't bust the bank. Like we're not talking like it in my opinion, it surpasses like a Monte Cristo, a Cuban. Hey, easy. Fucking dragonflies. Um, in my opinion, it surpasses, say, like the Monte Cristos or the Cohibas or the Romeos. If you want a really good cigar, man, go Alec Bradley or Rocky Patel. Best bang for buck. Like this is a $30, 30 I think we paid 31 bucks for this one. This one here, I'm waiting to get into this. I really am. This is the new Rocky Patel. It's called the Winter Collection. Look at this stick. That's a 60. That's a bad fucking boy right there. I cannot wait to get into that. Um, but yeah, this one's yummy. I don't like Amy Winehouse or Janis Joplin. I think, I didn't mind Janis Joplin, her career was so goddamn short. I don't even know how many albums she put out. How many albums did Janis Joplin really put out? Um, I don't know. If she was alive today, would she still be putting out music? I don't know. I don't know. You know, Amy Winehouse probably would. Jim Morrison might. Some of these guys that have passed away too early, would they still be doing music today? Stevie Ray Vaughan, definitely, right? There's the king of the Texas blues slingers right there, Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what? Sergeant Woodchipper, I gotta be in the mood for Pink Floyd. Back when I was a young kid, like 17, 18, 19, 20, loved Floyd. Seen Floyd, had a great time with Floyd. Every time I saw Floyd, I was chemically fueled, you know what I mean? Pink Floyd was great, but now I don't know what it is. I have to be in the mood for Pink Floyd. I enjoy it, but I gotta be in the mood for it. Steve Perry and Queen. Steve Perry, great vocalist. Queen, fantastic band. Claire Torrey on Dark Side of the Moon did it in one take. Greg, I don't know if you saw that. I just saw that the other day. There was a thing on YouTube showing that session, how she came in and she asked them, "What do you want?" And all they said is just do what you feel as the music's playing. And everything was done one shot, one take. They all stood around like, and they were done. And at the end of the day, they never paid her for it. They have paid her since, but they never paid her for that. I sound like Keith Lager. I don't know who that is, man. Why sn Woo! Look out. I don't know what fucking happened there. Oh, stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're currently cruising at 31,500 feet. Here we go. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I do know what happened there, but, you know, since we have, such a high technical, you know, quality setup here. Hey, you, Fraser Valley Farmer, good to see you, brother. Damn good to see you, man. Meet the Davidsons, Eminem. Okay, I can't disagree with you. Best rapper in the 20. Kid Rock, love Kid Rock. Okay, here you go. Pick Kid Rock. He's done metal, rap, rap rock, right? Devil Without a Cause, that album was all rap rock. He's done country. His best friend is Hank Williams Jr., for Christ's sake. Kid Rock, again, look at the vocal range on Kid Rock. Anybody see the what was it? The Kennedy Center Honors, right? And they were honoring Led Zeppelin. And Kid Rock came out and did Foo Fighters did rock, was it rock and roll? I think Foo Fighters came out, but Dave Grohl took the drums and Taylor actually sang and he fucking killed it. And then Kid Rock came out and did oh, come on, what was the song he did? And Jimmy Page was sitting there with a great big smile on his face, loving it. Love Kid Rock. I would see Kid Rock 100, whether you like his politics or not, that's a different story, but, love Kid Rock. RV, good to see you. In the last 25 years, it's hard because there's so many. Well, that's why I'm saying, if you go back 10 years, that's not fair. You wouldn't include enough of them, but if you go back 25 years, gives you something. Lil Wayne, oh, come on, Lil Wayne. Benny and the Gits, love that. Tech Nine was good, but I don't like his subject matter. Um, okay. Amy Winehouse wore out her CD when I lived in Calgary. Had to buy another one. Still listen to her in the car. Love Amy Winehouse, mom. Absolutely love Amy Winehouse. Again, like I said, I could, she could sing the phone book and I'd listen to it. It's that good. There's a talent that what left way too soon. And the thing is, I think with Amy Winehouse's, uh, case, it could have been prevented. Any mainstream rappers today mostly suck. Um, I'm not in that genre. Like, I like, if you go on my playlist right now, you're gonna find Eminem, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop. You're gonna find Ice Cube, NWA. You're gonna find what else? There's a few, but it's nothing as of like today's rappers. It would be all years from years gone by. She was gone at 27. Yeah, Fred. She joined the 27 club, right? Is it Cuban? No. Why do people always want to smoke a Cuban cigar? Taryn, I'm telling you right now, the Cubans don't make the best cigars anymore. They don't. The Nicaraguans and the Hondurans are now making better cigars than the Cubans, and they're at a quarter of the price. And they're better cigars, more flavor, better wrapped, better selection as the cigar burns. Like, cigars burn you get flavor, subtle flavor changes as you get through your cigar. Yeah, the Nicaraguans and Hondurans. Like I said earlier, like this one here I'm smoking is a Rocky Patel. This one here, like, I'm dying to get into. I'm trying to smoke this one as fast as I can so I can light this one up. But this is a winter collection. I've never had one of these before. Um, it's these are better than Cubans. People always assume, and I think in the United States, everybody wants to smoke a Cuban because you can't get them, or you're not supposed to have them, right? And that's the sort of like the taboo, right? Well, oh, Cubans, we can't get them, and when you get them, everybody loses their mind, going, "Oh, I'm smoking a Cuban." You know what? You're better off smoking a Rocky Patel or an Alec Bradley or a Ghost or any of those. They're better cigars all day long, and like I said, the price point on them is probably a third cheaper. Biggie, Eminem, Nas, Too Short. Tupac. Oh, sorry, I missed Tupac. Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, Nas, Too Short. Okay. Cohiba number 5 are great. They're harsh though. You better have a hard palate to smoke those. I don't mind them. I'm not a Cohiba smoker. I've never been a Cohiba smoker. I'm just not a fan of them. Um, early days I really liked. Obviously, I liked my two favorites were the Monte Cristo number twos and the Romeos. Love those. And then as my palate expanded and I started experimenting and trying out new stuff and everything like that, and took suggestions from these people, that person, whatever. My go-to is, or my go-to two are Alec Bradley and Rocky Patel. Tupac, Tupac, Tupac. R.I.P. Charlie Chan. That was a long time ago. Yeah, man, we're in Canada. We're up in Canada. Have I seen the Mike Tyson cigars? No, but I've smoked the Metallica cigars. They're called Blackened. Damn, they're good. They're not bad. Like, they're not bad, and again, the price point on them, like a full stick, not they're about this size, right? They're probably a 3 or a 4 ring. This is a 6, right? This is I could beat you over the head with this thing. It's a club. But the Metallica Blackened, really, really, really good cigar. I've had that, but I've not had the Mike Tyson cigar. I didn't even be honest with you, Royce. I didn't even fucking know he had one. If you want to start smoking them, well, the problem is if you start smoking it, you probably won't stop. Right? That was one of those things. My cousin Mike and I got caught as a young kids, right? We fucking stole a couple of fucking stubs of my grandfather's cigar, and it was one of those things where we call it up on the farm, but it wasn't really a farm. it was a big, big, big piece of land, and what my grandfather did is he took an old school bus and converted it into like a cottage. So we called it up on the farm. But anyway, you know, I got caught with my cousin Mike, and I got caught with these cigars, and my grandfather made us sit there and smoke the goddamn things. Mike was puking all over himself, and I loved it. So from a young age, I've always smoked cigars. I've smoked cigarettes too, but I've quit cigarettes off and on, over the years. I've gone 8, 10, 12 years without smoking a cigarette, but in the meantime, I've always smoked cigars. Ozzy Osbourne, Josie B, Ozzy Osbourne totally respected Pink Floyd. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but Ozzy Osbourne, here's another one, like, sorry, the Prince of Darkness, and he had Eminem at his funeral. He had everybody that was anybody at his funeral or not at his funeral, was involved some way or another with him and that family, right? And this is a guy that, realistically should have killed himself fucking 20 years ago. Janis ruined the song, "Me and Bobby McGee." Nobody sings it better than the original, Chris Christopherson. I agree. I prefer Christopherson's version of it. I don't mind Janis Joplin's version of it. She didn't I don't think she ruined it. I wouldn't say it's my opinion, Karen. I don't think she ruined it, but I have them both on my playlist, both versions of it. But if I was gonna go right now, if somebody said, "Hey, throw the song on for me," I would go to, Christopherson's version of it. That's the one that I would listen to. I love Israel. Okay, right on. Just joined, but I heard good music being listened. Can I throw Tom Petty in there? Gabriel, you can throw Tom Petty in there. I'm gonna throw him back at you. Tom Petty, he had a long career, talented. Um, I just didn't like his voice. I didn't like his voice. I don't know what it was about. It was like same as Geddy Lee from Rush. No, it wasn't as bad as say Geddy Lee, but I don't know. Tom Petty was great. I don't know. Yeah, you can say that, but I would argue with you. I would argue. I wouldn't put him in like a top 20. Mama Cass was a kick-ass singer. Mamas and the Papas. Again, that's just not I don't know. That was just too Greg, I can see that with you, Greg, but it was just too fucking hippie for me. It really was. Am I Muslim? Am I Muslim? Really? NNE trading, would it make a difference if I was? I'm not, but would it be a big issue or a big problem if I was? Ice Cube, the Lynch Mob, if you know, you know. Well, Rory Tater, I'm gonna sit here and go, I don't know. I don't know. Chris Christopherson wrote Me and Bobby McGee. He did. He's the songwriter on that. It's funny that Chris Christopherson probably has more songs written for other people than he ever put out for himself. Mama Cass died from choking on a sandwich. I don't know. Marshall Mathers is the goat. Kid Rock is like, well, why not? Yeah, you know what? You like him or you love him. You like him or you don't. Kid Rock. Waylon Jennings, Waylon goddamn Jennings. That's what he named his production, his recording. His production company because he had his own production company, and he couldn't put Waylon goddamn Jennings, so it was WGDJ was the name of Waylon Jennings' production company. Love Waylon Jennings. And like when I won't listen to any kind of country from today. I can't listen to it like any of it. Don't even try to. But if I'm like you on my playlist, you've got Hank Senior, Hank Junior, Waylon, Willie, Conway, Johnny, George Jones. um, Merle Haggard. Like that is my country. That's what I listen to when I want to listen to country music. Deftones is a good band. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Really didn't do much for me. Jerry Reed. Jerry Reed, one of the most underrated guitarists. Okay, everybody knows the story, right? Where he had to be pulled in off of his fishing boat in his hip waders to come in to Elvis Presley because he was doing Guitar Man, right? And fucking nobody in the studio could do the guitar work. They had to actually bring Jerry Reed in to do it himself. He's the only one that could do it. I always like to hear Kid Rock. I love Kid Rock. You know, he's not some of his political affiliations aren't popular, but whatever. If you look at it in the side of of performance, of singing and performing, put it this way, the guy is a talented musician, and I say this in the way because I've seen him do this, and I've seen him do it on video, but I've seen him do it live a couple of times. In the middle of his show, the band goes into a loop, right? So the drummer's just drumming away to a loop. Each everybody in his band, pianist, guitarist, bassist, drummer, um, what else? Sax player. They've got a loop, so it's just like they're jamming, right? So then Kid Rock goes over to the guitarist and takes the guitar from his guitarist, and then plays along in the jam, and then he does a solo on the guitar. And then for about 5 minutes, he gives the guitar back. Then he goes over to the bassist, takes the guy's guitar, plays along for a few minutes to the loop, and then he does a bass solo. Then he does the drums. Then he does the piano. Every instrument on that guy's stage, he not only went over and played, but he did a solo with it. So it shows you that he's not just strumming along or playing along. He knows how to play the instrument. And I've seen Kid Rock do that several times. He's a fantastic, fantastic musician. Stairway, yeah, Hart did Stairway. That was again at the Kennedy Centers. They closed the show. Hart came out and did Stairway to Heaven with Jason Bonham's son on the drums, and the three members, John Paul Jones, and Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, were all crying. I've seen Kid Rock twice. I'd see Kid Rock as many. If he ever comes to Calgary, I'm going. If he comes anywhere within a couple hundred miles of here, I'm going. Love Kid Rock. Ice Cube's the goat. I like Ice Cube. I like Ice Cube when he split from NWA. His first two albums when he split from NWA, because they were battles, right, back and forth, and he just trashed them. They couldn't. NWA couldn't compete. Fleetwood Mac or just Stevie Nicks. Love them both. I love Stevie Nicks. Um, I really love Fleetwood Mac too. I don't know. That's a tough call, man. Gabriel, that is a tough call. I love Stevie Nicks, but I really, really loved Fleetwood Mac as well. Mm. I need some Draco the Ruler. Don't know what that is. Josie, that's a good point. Love music when the members wrote their own songs and played their own instruments. True, true. Now, I think one of the bands today, and actually, the Foo Fighters just put out an album. Did they not? Like last month or this month? They actually just put out an album. Foo Fighters is one of the ones that is current today that still writes their own music, plays their own instruments, da 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 da. But yeah, like it's with AI nowadays. With AI, you could just put your voice into the AI and tell AI what kind of song you want, and it'll put out a song with your voice on it. And I guarantee you, there's a lot of that going on. There really is. How long have I been smoking? A long time. I don't even support MAGA, but we need to worry about our own country. Uh, How about worry about yourself? I worry more about, I take care of my family and I take care of me and my family first. That's first and foremost. After that, I help out others the best I can, like people, community, my country, whatnot like that. I think from a country standpoint, I think any country out there right now, every country out there right now should be taking care of themselves first, and then whatever's left over, then you help out other people or other countries. We should maybe try to take a lesson, or not even take a lesson. We should. There's just nobody out there doing it. We should actually try doing it. How does the process go of smoking a cigar? I will show you. One moment. They're not like cigarettes. If you don't smoke them, they don't just burn away. They actually go out. So, I'll take a couple puffs and then I'll start talking, then it'll go out and I gotta relight it. And that's good because at $30 for one of these fucking things, you don't wanna put it down in the ashtray and come back in 10 minutes and it's all burnt up and gone. Now, for what I'm about to do here, YouTube's gonna give me a strike, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What is the process to smoke a cigar? So once you've got it lit, as I do, it's not like a cigarette, right? Where you take a puff on it, you inhale the smoke, and then you blow the smoke out. You don't do that. This is a Nicaraguan cigar. It's a Rocky Patel. It's a nice flavored cigar, and I'm into the probably the last part of the flavoring, and it's a little harsh, and I like that. But it's into your mouth. You suck the smoke into your mouth. You then open the back of your throat as if you're going to swallow the smoke, but you don't, which then turns on your flavor senses, right? Your flavor, you will taste it. And then you have the option of either blowing it all out through your mouth or blowing it out through your nose. If you blow it out through your nose, you'll get more of the flavor. If you blow it out through your mouth, you'll still get the flavor as well. But the process is just simple as this. Now, I'm going to take a strike on YouTube for this, but oh, wow. So, now, my whole mouth and all of my flavor senses just lit up with that, but I didn't inhale the smoke. The nicotine gets absorbed through the pores on the inside of your mouth. So, it doesn't have to go into your lungs to get the nicotine. Fred, great listening to you. Well, Fred, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Good afternoon. How the hell are you? Good to see you, man. Opinions on acid brand cigars. Tillman, I've smoked one. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It left like a metal flavor, like a metal sensation in my mouth, like fucking I don't know how to describe it. I didn't like it at all. I got a friend of mine who swears by them, loves them. I wasn't a big fan of it. I prefer the old school fucking cigars. I am very dangerous. Dawn from India. Well, we're not too scared. Come on in, sit down, relax. Gonna join you for a smoke, but cigarette. Hi from the UK. Amanda, welcome in from the UK. We only allow three Brits or three members of the UK in here at a time because, as everybody knows, if you take three English people or three Brits and put them in any more than three Brits in a room at the same time, they start plotting how to take over the world. So, Amanda, you're lucky. I think there's maybe you may be the third. This is the age of gangster. We lost our civil rights because this 65-year-old is worthless. Bonnie Smith, we didn't lose. Nobody lost their rights. And you're going to hate me for saying this. Maybe you won't. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you honestly, we didn't lose our rights. You very slowly gave them away and didn't realize it. Think about How I don't know, Bonnie, I don't know how old you are. You saying you're 65? So you go back over the years and you think about the politics, and it doesn't matter whether you're Canadian or American, you think about the politics and the policies over the last fucking 25 years. You didn't lose your rights. You slowly gave them away, but didn't realize you were doing it. That is pure genius on their part, not yours, on theirs. Dave Edwards, good to see you, man. Damn good to see you, son. Been a long time, Dave. Just so you know, regardless of what's gone on in the world around me and other people, no hard feelings towards you whatsoever. None, man. Absolutely none. All respect to you, Dave. Uh, we're good. As long as you're obviously in here saying hi, so obviously you're all good. We're all good on this end, brother. I got no problem. Favorite budget cigar, Tillman? I don't know. Like I don't smoke any of those cigarellos or the Captain Sam's or I don't know. Favorite budget cigar? You can get some lower end ghosts or even like it depending on where you are. If you can even get Rocky Patels, you can get like 17, $18 Rocky Patels, depending on what you want to smoke. Duncan McKay says, "Hi, Tillman. Yiddish music intensifies." I'll take your word on that. You could rent that storage out to a family of new Canadians. Yeah. Why is this chat so political? Have you talked about anything political? I don't think this chat's been political. I'm just bouncing off what you guys are saying here. I've not dragged us down a political forum or down a political roadway. That's all. If you guys want to, make comments about politics, that's fine. I'll make comments on it, but I'm not going to turn this into a fucking political stream today. How many years have you been smoking cigars for? Amanda, probably since my 20s, early 20s. I'm 55, so from my early 20s. John Doe, you're still on here? Well, John Doe, you're still coming back? How much money you make streaming? Millions, Jordan. Absolute fucking millions. Absolute millions. I'm you don't know it. This is a green screen right now, but I'm actually sitting down in the fucking I'm sitting out down in the Gulf of Mexico on my 75-foot yacht. I've got, I had to tell him to keep it down, but I've got an entire fucking busload of Playboy bunnies all running around behind me, telling me to get off here because we got to go play. Um, how much do I make in streaming? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anything that this channel makes, the money gets donated to the charity, the Forgotten Angels. So I don't keep any of it. It's not paying me enough. It doesn't pay me to live. To live on. In a good month, if it makes a couple $100 to $300, whatever, it just gets donated. I should be a singer. Oh God, you don't want me to. I am an awesome singer in the shower. I get in the shower, man, I'll give you a fucking 4-hour concert or until the hot water runs out. Out here, not so much. Who's we? That's Tillman. I don't know why I do that. We. I'm the only one here, but I always refer to it as we. I don't know. I do that all the time. We do it all the time over here, eh? Good Canadian. Theodore, good to see you. What's up, mate? Opinions on Nina Simone? I don't have one. I'm not. I was never a fan. I never really listened. Honestly, honestly. CCR is my go-to when I'm new to music when I need a pick me up. No, I never saw CCR, but I did see John Fogerty, who then turned around and pretty much did a CCR concert. But yeah, I love CCR. Love CCR. I'm in the land of maple trees. There you go. Up here we got maple trees, hot women. We got Canadian in Canada. We got maple trees, hot women, poutine. Um, what else we got in Canada? Polar bears. We got more freshwater lakes than any other country in the world. We got the world's largest freshwater beach. What else we got in Canada? Canada's a phenomenal place. Can I sing you happy birthday? I can, but I am not. I ever done any MMA? No. Never done any MMA. No. I'm too busted up. Are you kidding me? How can you ask me if I'm from England with a gorgeous accent? Now, it's funny, as a Canadian, we hear everybody else's accents. We don't think we have an accent, right? But it's funny, if you go to the US, say you're from New York, they talk one way in New York. Then you go, say, to Boston, right? Boston. They talk like that in Boston, right? But then you get out to the middle of the country and they kind of talk like I do. But then you get down into the southern states and they got the southern twang. So there's a country like the United States, you can go from one end of the country and you're probably gonna get English, but you're gonna get 5 different dialects of it, right? Different versions of English. In Canada, we've got probably only 2 or 3. The East Coasters, like the Newfs and like Karen out there in Nova Scotia, or from Nova Scotia, they got their kind of twang dialect, it's almost got like a little bit of an Irish lilt to it. Then you got the French in Quebec, that nobody cares about really. And then you got the rest of Canada, and we all talk like this. But then when we listen to other people around the world, it's like everybody else has an accent, we don't have one. "Walking on the Fighting Side of Me," one of the best songs Merle Haggard ever wrote. "How does it feel to have 4 eyes?" "Well, at least I can see. At least I can see. I wouldn't care if I needed 6 eyes to see. I'd rather lose my hearing than lose my sight. I don't know about you, man. I'd rather be deaf as a fucking post than blind." What is this stick? This stick is a Rocky Patel, hold on, I'll pull out the ring. This is a Rocky Patel special edition 15 year. Very nice cigar. Very nice cigar. I'm trying to choke my way through it, as much as I hate to say that because I want to enjoy it, but I'm trying to get to this one, right? Which is a Rocky Patel. I've never had this before. It's a winter edition. I'm trying to get to this, and this is a big boy. That'll take about 2 hours to get through that. I got the best country singers on my playlist. Thank you. Opinion on Alice in Chains. I don't mind Alice in Chains. I've seen them. Not a bad band. Good rock and roll band. They play well. They're tight. We are strong and defend Thailand. Okay. Stuff that thing in your mouth already. What's my nationality? I'm Canadian. Chrissy, good to see you. Chrissy saying hi to the chat. Everybody say hi to Chrissy. I'm probably 7. She's probably already been here and gone. I'm so far behind in the chat. There we go. Fleetwood Mac was awesome. Fred, funny, I never saw Stevie Nicks live or Fleetwood Mac live. I really wish that I had. I really wish that I had. Jonas Brothers are just Nick, neither. Is that cigar that Arnold smokes? I don't know. I don't know what Arnold Schwarzenegger smokes. I know that he has a fucking. I've seen. He actually has a humidor that you walk into, but it's not at his house. He actually goes to a separate place and they store it for him. I don't know what Arnold smokes. With his money, he can smoke anything he wants, right? Is that a stogie? Yeah, this would be classified as stogie. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot, the Chili Peppers fell in for me. They fell in kind of to the grunge era. and I didn't fall into the grunge era. I really didn't. But it's funny now as I've gotten older and the grunge era has kind of gone on by, I'm now appreciating it now, but I didn't appreciate it then when it first came out. Because I think grunge, I was doing metal, and I think that grunge was competing with the metal, and I was like, nope, what, nope, nope, not listening to it, nope. But now I think I can appreciate it now, right? I can go back and listen to a lot of that grunge music now, and I will appreciate it and actually enjoy it. Kyle D, Kyle D, good to see you, man. Thanks. Remember T-Pain? He was first major AI singer. I did not know that. Did not know that. Thoughts on Zaza? Couldn't tell you. Dave Grohl can play anything you handed him, like Phil Collins. Dave Grohl does. The very first Foo Fighters album, he played every instrument on that album. It was just Foo Fighters was just originally very first pieces of music the Foo Fighters put out, it was just the band actually didn't come together until shortly after that. "Ear your dinner, boy?" I don't know what that means, completely different. That's probably an insult, but, whatever. Turned into an alien, you got a problem. Bassmatic, good to see you. Auto-tune is an algo, AI is, AM algo. Um, uh, I'm gonna take your word for it. You know what? I don't know enough about it. I don't respect it. Any performer right now that's out there putting out music using AI, right? And you're not writing your own music, all you're doing is putting your voice into a fucking tuner or whatever you have to however you go about and do it, and then you fucking put out a song and that song blows up worldwide. I wanna see that fucker sing that song live. Do you know how many people there are out right now that have music out and people are buying it or people are downloading it, but they can't sing a note? If they had to sing that song live on stage, they'd be fucked. Relax your throat, you're gonna feel a little pressure. When you inhale or when you take a puff on this, yeah, that's what I was talking about, right? Open up that little take that pressure off there and open it. Don't swallow the smoke, but just open it so that you have the ability to blow it out of your nose. You will not get a strike for it as long as you advertise as 18 over. I do, but you would be amazed these days what YouTube will give you a fucking strike for. You really would. Who would inhale a cigar anyway? That's crazy talk. Well, there's been the odd time, you get carried away, you're taking a puff, you're smoking your cigar, you're talking, you shoot chat, and you forget, you inhale a nice, even for my lungs, because I smoke cigarettes, even for my lungs, it'll send me into a coughing fit. It's like watching a fucking 13-year-old take his first hit of a joint, and they turn green and try not to puke. I've been smoking these since my early 20s. I'm 55 now. Malik, my name is Brian. Hey, from Australia, Liam, good to see you. I'm from Canada. Hey, man, I'm from India. I love the greater US. I will soon come there. I want to become a citizen, but it is just like nearly impossible. You are very lucky. Well, I'm not lucky at all. Well, I am actually lucky because I'm a Canadian. I'm not an American. Hey, man, I'm from okay, we got that already. Yeah, I think we should all be able to just get along. Mind your own business. If more people took time to take care of themselves and stop worrying about what everybody else around them is doing, there'd be a whole lot less bullshit, a lot less headaches and hassle and heartache in the world. It really would. Mind your own fucking business. Can we get a prayer? Sure. Now go ahead, start praying. Knock yourself out. Sam Woods, you probably already saw it. I'm so far behind. It's a Rocky Patel 15-year special edition. Don Carlos cigars. They're not bad. Good selection. Big. That's the one thing about Don Carlos is the selection. They got a large selection of cigars. Not bad. Um, if somebody hands me one, I'll be happy to smoke it for you. Dig the mad scientist. Love your name, brother. Really, all chats are political, just some more than others. I can't disagree with you. He can't be Fred Durst because I am. There you go. Shower is like auto tune for some reason. Cigars are sentient beings. I don't know. I've never fucking ever thought of my cigar as a sentient being. I've never had a thought that, oh, I shouldn't smoke this because it's a sentient being. I love me some Credence. I love Credence. I sent you an email on the okay. I saw it pop up on my screen. Obviously, I can't look at it because I'm using my phone for this right now. So, Karen, once I'm done here, I'll jump off and I'll take a look at that email. Who would have won in an MMA fight, you or Elon Musk? I would smoke Elon Musk. There'd be nothing left of him but a stack of fucking $100 bills. I bet you love Elvis Presley. Eh, take it or leave it. I will respect what he did for music. Didn't write any of his own, right? He had people writing all his own music, all his number one hits and whatever. But still, what he did in the 50s and the 60s for rock and roll, okay, I can respect that. You look like a lost truck driver. Well, Pinoy, I'm a retired truck driver. I drove for 35 years, and I just retired from trucking in February. So my accent is a cross between Irish and Scottish. Yeah, but you're from Nova Scotia. So that's what I'm talking about. The East Coast is a little different. Canadian is the same as American. No, not really. Not really. Canadians don't live as fast paced a life as Americans do. And Canadians don't have to fight as hard to make a living as Americans do. And that a lot of that, again, as I said before, is it has to do with population. Your population is 345 or 350 million people. There's only 47 million people in Canada. Time for a Coke. You talking about the drink or the line? Chrissy's still here? You're hanging in, eh, Chrissy? This is a busy chat today. The whole Seattle movement. Gay survival, like again, I'm appreciating it now, but I didn't appreciate it then. I'm appreciating it more now. I'm listening to more of it now than I did back then, and I'm enjoying it. Every cigar I've ever tasted tastes bad. I've had them with cognac and with spirits. What a good combo of and a sweet fruity cigar. Um, well, I don't drink, uh, so I can't mix my cigar with any kind of liqueur. Um, Cognac or brandy, from what I understand. Um, I don't know. I got a friend of mine that enjoys cigars with tequila. Again, I don't get it. I smoke cigars because I love the flavor and I love the process of the flavor change and the smoke and I love the smell. I just love the smell. Like when I go back in the house, I every part of me, oh, my shirt reeks, my pants reek, everything reeks of cigar. I love it. Bad boy. Hulk have what? Hulk have the on of the greatest mind. You agree? No. T-Pain popularized auto tune. He may have. I don't know. I don't know what T-Pain did or what didn't do. Stevie Wonder played every instrument as well. He did. I think one of Stevie Wonder's biggest songs, "Superstition." He played every instrument on that song. "Boogie on Reggae Woman," another great Stevie Wonder song. He played every instrument on that fucking song. It was track, lay down the drums, lay down the keyboard, lay down every instrument, and then they put it all together. A lot of music is like that, but that's how the game goes. It is, but it's a shame because don't you feel ripped off, Jack? I feel ripped off. I do. I wanna be able to listen to your music. Jack, let's just say that you're a musician and you write your own music and it's a great song and I'm enjoying it. I will appreciate that song and I will appreciate you more because you put the effort out and you actually wrote the song, performed the song, and it's your song. I won't appreciate a song as much if I'm sitting here listening to it going, "Oh, that's a pretty good song," and my foot's tapping. But then I find out afterwards that you didn't write it, you didn't perform it, you didn't have anything to do with it. All you did was put a vocal track in, and it took your voice and then created the song for you. I don't like that. Is that the same cigar from an hour? No, it's the same cigar. We're almost done. We got about 5 minutes left on this bad boy. Floyd Lawson, howdy, bud. Good to see you, Floyd. Thanks for popping in. Well, yeah, exactly right. We're all dying slowly, regardless. Enjoy the ride while you can, while you still can. It's funny. The minute you're born, you start dying. Think about that, right? The minute you're born, you start dying. You're just dying very slowly, but you start dying. It's just the way it is. What do you do career-wise? Froxen, right now, I smoke cigars. I do a little bit of live streaming. Um, for other reasons, I don't broadcast. I'm a retired truck driver, but I've got my hands in a little bit of something on the side, just for a little passive income, shit like that. But I don't advertise what I do. Um, but other than that, really, I'm like I said, I just spent a week up in the mountains with my girlfriend. So that's kind of what I'm at and where I'm going and what I'm doing these days. You're Filipino. Well, I think you only said it 4 times there. Cool. Retired Navy here. Well, man, Floyd, thank you for your service. Um, I don't know if it's American Navy, Canadian Navy, English Navy, whatever. It doesn't make a difference to me. If I my highest respects and regards go to anybody who voluntarily steps up, puts on a uniform, picks up a weapon, and stands on a front line in front of me or anybody else to make sure that we are safe and our way of life is safe here, whether it be Canada, the US, whatever. I don't care. Thank you for your service. I never served in the military. It's one of the few regrets I have. I don't have very many regrets. I've lived a very good life, fairly comfortable and done well. Okay. But one thing I do regret is that I never served my country. People in Washington State, including me, sound similar. Well, I think if you live in Washington State, you don't quite hear it, because you all sound the same. But as soon as you leave Washington State and say move over a few states, say over to say Iowa or Montana or anything like that, then you notice, right? Then you'll notice, hey, wait a minute. But you don't notice your accent, you notice their accent. Sarah, hi. I am from Scotland. Well, Sarah, thanks for coming in from Scotland. We got a few Scots in here. I hate America recently. Well, I don't hate America and I don't hate Americans. Um, it's politics. Same with Canada. I'm Canadian. I don't hate Canadians and I don't hate Canada. What I do strongly dislike, and I don't use the word hate very often, but I strongly disagree with and strongly dislike is our politics, our government. The Canadian government are fucking, they're so crooked. I mean, if he was still alive, I'd vote for Saddam Hussein before I'd vote for fucking Carney again. James Hatfield, that you? Nope. I'll take his paycheck though. We move a lot slower in the US, in the South. You do. You do. KY survival, that is absolutely true. The southern states are a little more laid back. You guys are. You're slow. You enjoy a slower pace of life. There's not as much hustle and bustle, and everybody get out of my way. I gotta go. Yeah, I noticed that. I've spent years of my life in the southern US. There's probably not a piece of fucking dirt anywhere along the I-10 that I haven't touched. So you suck that cigar, good boy, real good. Whatever. I drink, but I quit cigs for the kiddos. Hey, however you quit, I don't endorse smoking. I really don't. I don't endorse it and say, oh yeah, everybody should smoke or it's a good thing. Um, you know, here's 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 something to think about. Okay, grab the narrator. Here's something to think about. Okay, Smoking, they say causes cancer, and smoking kills a large population of Canadians and Americans every year. But it is not the biggest killer of all. The biggest killer of people in the United States specifically is diabetes. Diabetes kills more people than cigarettes and cigars and everything else combined. Narrator, it does. Diabetes, look it up. Okay, it's the number one killer of people in the fucking in the United States. I'll sit here and smoke a cigar, and people will. And I've been fortunate. Not a lot of people have said anything a lot about smoking and everything. Stop your smoking. I get that all the time. Stop smoking. Stop smoking. But you know what? If I was sitting here eating a fucking chocolate bar, not a single person would say a word. Nobody would say. I'd probably have half a dozen people in here going, "Oh, can I have a bite of your chocolate bar?" Yet diabetes kills more people than fucking smoking does. Just something to think about. That's all. I wasn't saying anything, you know. But I don't endorse. Again, I don't endorse smoking. It's not something everybody should do. Bro, what's going on? Just got here. What's happening, y'all? Well, man, we're smoking cigar. Well, almost done this one. We might light up a second. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a break for a second, run in the house. I gotta get another. I want another coffee. This one's empty. I want another coffee, and when we come back, we'll light the other cigar, and we'll go and see how far that one takes us. You talking about AI music? AI is not music. AI is computer generated shit is what AI music is. He's a career criminal. He's a career criminal. That's what I do for a living. I'm a career, yeah, and I'm a career criminal that's sitting here on YouTube. You said your way of life, not everyone agrees with you, nor does everyone have the same standard of morals and values. So what the hell are you talking about? Anything that I say here is just based on my own either opinions, my own feelings, my own experiences in life. That's all I'm talking about here. I'm not gonna cram anything down your fucking throat and tell you, "You have to believe this, and I'm right and you're wrong." Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anything I say here, again, is based on my own life's experience or my opinions or the way I feel, and I have that right. Just like Mr. X, you've got the right to say what you want, feel how you want, practice whatever religion you want, be any ethnic, be any identify as anything you want. And you know what, brother? That's okay with me. I was Army, best job, in there. I ran the Army. Again, you'd be serving the Jews? You are anyway. Can America stop trying to make, dubstep a thing, please? I don't even know what dubstep is. I'm fucking back. Had to do a beer run. There you go. There you go. Well, you gotta live up to your name, 2-4. Feel like I'm lighting a joint. Kitty cat. I saw a sign outside. I already read it, but I'm gonna read it again. Saying slow children playing. I thought, damn, that didn't do much for their self-esteem. Damn. Do you eat corn the long way? Corn on the cob? I love corn on the cob. Guns killed? You talking about GNR? They did well. Chocolate is healthy. Chocolate depends. Dark chocolate is healthy. Pure dark chocolate is very healthy. Whoever has an issue with me smoking has got to be a liberal. Who fucking knows? I don't care. Cigars are great. What cigar are you smoking? This is a Rocky Patel special edition, 15-year special edition. It's very good, very nice cigar. Very nice cigar. I'm almost done. I'm at the last flavor. I've just got into the last flavor change on it, and it's a real earthy. It's a bit of a bit of a raunch to it, now which I like. I like that. A lot of people don't. You have to be very particular about your cigars of what you like and flavors and everything. I like that earthy, little bit of raunchiness. How's the weather where you are? Oh man, we are. Look at this. We got blue skies, sunshine. Probably somewhere around 20 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Andrew B, I was Army as well. Well, man, thank you for your service. America will become a Muslim country, inshallah. I don't think so. And if it does, if Canada and the US go that way, it'll be probably after I'm dead, so I'm not gonna too worried about it. All I can try to do is leave the country in a better condition than I found it, and better condition for my kids. Luckily for me, most of my kids now are all grown up. Like, my I got 6 daughters, and they're averaging from 33 is the oldest down to 23, which is the youngest, so I will roll you a joint. I will roll a joint that big. You go right ahead and do that, and I'm gonna call you this afternoon to see if you're still upright. 24, I'll wait till you're about 24 beer in and you've smoked a fucking doob that big. Actually, your wife will answer the phone. Being fat is unhealthy. Um, Being overweight is not, ideal, you know? I've been known at times, like I'm not right now, I'm probably right around where I should be. I'm 6'2", I'm about 220 pounds. Weight wise, I'm fine. I might be carrying around maybe 10 pounds of weight on me. It's not gonna, which certainly is not gonna kill me. But I have been heavier. The heaviest I've been is 265, and that's a lot of weight to carry around, especially when you're as tall as I am. It hurts, you know. It hurts. You're putting a lot of work on your lungs, on your heart, on your lungs, and your organs, and your knees, and your hips, and Cuban cigar, no, Nicaraguan, man. Cubans are overrated. They're good, but they're overrated. Your skin is tan. Love the tan skin. I do a lot of this sitting around, and again this week, well, like for the last 7 days, we've been up in the mountains. We went to Banff and we went to Jasper, and we've done a lot of walking around outside up in the mountains, and we had beautiful weather. So, yeah, we're nicely tanned up. Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. Who did you vote for president? I can't vote for a president because I'm Canadian. So we have a prime minister, and I didn't vote for him. You look like Matt Damon if he was a badass. Again, thank you. I'll take his paycheck. Andrew, America is the best country in the world. You know what? Say it loud and proud. If you're an American, again, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what country you're from. Be proud of your country. Whether American, Canadian, doesn't matter. You know, be proud of your country. Scream it from the top of your fucking rooftops if you want to. I got no problem with that. I got no problem anybody saying that. Opus X is my favorite cigar. Never had one. Andrew B never had one. Ever get that weasel buffed? Do I know who Music Biz Marty is? Nope. Do you watch Seinfeld? Hell no. Who the fuck speaks in Celsius? Canadians do, Corey. Canadians, actually, the rest of the world does. Americans are the only ones that are still using the fucking old imperial system. Everybody speaks in Celsius. You go anywhere, it's Celsius. Only in the United States, you guys still in inches, feet, and fucking Fahrenheit. You in Canada, Doug? Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm out in Strathmore, Alberta. America's here for Jesus' thousand-year reign. Good luck with that. He ain't got a wife. He gay. Well, Jim, that's pretty harsh. Pretty harsh. 70 Fahrenheit in Nova Scotia. There you go. I wasn't calling you fat, brother. Oh, no, I didn't think you were. I was just, I understood what you were saying. That's all. Do you know who you mean? Dysentery? No, I don't. Stop asking. Don't have a clue. Jasper. Yeah, it's up in the mountains. Jasper, Alberta. It's about from where I live, it's about a 5.5 hour drive. 5.5 hour drive. Drink maple syrup, love maple syrup, dude. We make the best. We make it. We have the best maple syrup in the world up here in Canada. North Korean and proud. There you go, Jim. Canada's great as well. I served in Iraq and some damn fine Canadians. Andrew, uh, the Canadians can put up a fight, you know. You can't say a whole lot of well, you can. If you're a military man, then you know that Canada doesn't have a fucking navy, right? We've got what? Three broken submarines that don't work and a bunch of fucking rowboats, right? So no, we don't have a fucking navy worth of shit. We've got an air force that might have, I think we got 15 F-14s, right? And half of those don't work. So we don't really have much of an air force. We've got cargo lift capabilities. Like we do really well with that. But our army and especially our special forces, our joint task force guys, the J2F guys, are second to none. They really are. They're second to none. They are some bad, bad motherfuckers. I have met my cousin and her husband where they live across the street is a husband and wife, and he is a member of that task force. And I've met him. I can't say he's a friend. He's not. He's just somebody that I've met. They come over and we'd all be sitting around out back around the fire. But I've seen his phone go off and no questions asked. He stands up, goes, "Excuse me," kisses his wife, goes over and gets in his car, and his car's already got a pre-packed bag in it and drives away. He doesn't say nothing. And he can be gone for 3 weeks or 3 months. She doesn't have a clue. And when he gets back, he gets back. Yeah, our special forces are absolutely badass. Jesus is the guy over here at the IHOP washing dishes. You don't know. Canadian bagged milk. I wonder if they have 12 packs of bagged soda. I love I love 'em, like, I got relatives that live in the States, and they come here and they'll see bagged milk in the fridge, and they don't know, like, "What the fuck is that?" It's milk. It's not a carton. It's bagged milk, and you buy, like, 4 liters of it, and it comes in 3 bags, and, yeah, they lose their shit when they see bagged milk. Their maple syrup is fire, though, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, our maple syrup is awesome. Dude, you could damn near drink the shit right out of the fucking tree. I sound a little bit British? Ugh, I don't know, man. Ugh. Don't be telling Canadian military jokes. I wasn't telling jokes, I was telling truth. Our Air Force is pathetic. Our Navy is disgusting, right? The Canadian Coast Guard is better than the Canadian military Navy, the Canadian Navy. Our Coast Guard is great. The Canadian Coast Guard is second to none. But fuck. Mike Ryan, second to none, at least fourth to the USA, UK, and Israel? I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, it's arguable. But, the United States has, the top tier is Delta, then they got their navies, then they got their SEALs, and then they got the Rangers, or you can bounce the Rangers above the SEALs or whatever like that. But, the Brits got the SAS and the SBS, and, they're pretty fucking, those are some dangerous motherfuckers there. Um, Israel, yes, Israel is a danger. Their special forces are ridiculously fucking crazy and ridiculously dangerous. But the J2F guys, put it this way, Andrew, the every winter, right? They have winter exercises, and the Americans send the best of the best from the United States up to Canada, up to northern Canada, and they do their winter exercises up there. And they compete with other countries as well. There's other countries that are brought in. The Brits send in the best of their SAS, and the Canadians got their J2F guys, and da 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 all the way down the line. And I can tell you this right now that the Americans have never beaten the Canadians in the winter exercises. Never. I think that bad boy is done. If I try to relight it again, I'll singe my mustache hair. What's your favorite music? Well, here's my favorite band right here. So I would say probably rock. I listen to it all, but my favorite, like I can listen in the span of a day. I can go from listening to Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Metallica, Slayer, Motley Crue, then go to Robert Johnson, Buddy Guy, BB King, Joe Bonamassa, Howlin' Wolf, and then go to Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard. I can do all of that. I can do all of that in the span of a day. Sappers lead the way. You know what? It could be. It could be. They could be. It's not it could be. They could be. You know what? There's so much. I guarantee you. We on the outside, we really don't know. We really don't know. There is so much about the military, Canadian, American, Brits, whatever. Johnny Cash too, absolutely, Taylor. There is so much about the military that we don't know about. I guarantee you, they are doing shit that you've never heard of and that you will never ever hear of. That's why they're there. That's why they're there. I saw Buddy Guy live once. He's incredible. I saw Buddy Guy live a bunch of times. In Canada, we have a blues festival that goes across the country, and they go to and for some not for some reason, but Buddy Guy is always on the bill. Now he's retired now. He doesn't do a lot of touring now. He's at home in Chicago, but for years and years and years and years, Buddy Guy was always on the blues circuit, and so I would see him. He'd play Toronto. He'd play the blues festival in Toronto, and then a week later he'd play the blues festival in Mississauga, and then 3 days later, he played the blues festival in Burlington. So I would go I would see him, like, I don't know how many times, every couple of years you'd see him, you know, all over the fucking place. Well, in reality, we just have to hit one button and have a giant tungsten rod drop from a satellite with extreme precision, creating the effect of a nuke without the fallout. They've got it. They've got it. Where are you from? Bravo 6, I'm out in Alberta, Canada. Rods from God. Stick to the stogies. Well, we're gonna light that other one up in a minute. Like I said, give me a second. Let me just finish this. This will take me about another fucking 45 seconds. Let me finish this. I'm gonna go grab another coffee, come back, we'll light that other stick, and we'll talk some more shit. So it's an Ontario thing. No, they got the blues festival goes across Canada. It's but that's just where I lived. Lauren, that's just where I lived. I lived in Ontario, right? So I was in Toronto, raised pretty much as a young kid in Mississauga. My parents moved out to Mississauga, if you know where that is, and then immigrated myself when I got older back into the Toronto lifestyle. What are your thoughts on immigration, Ash? You don't want my thoughts on immigration, really? Jim, thank you. If this is all I'm going to say, okay? My thoughts on immigration. If the immigration policy was being used for what it was designed for, if it was used properly for what it was designed for, okay, what it was designed for, I would have no problem with it. Okay. Canada and the US, they need immigrants only because the workforce is growing faster than the population and there's not enough people to sustain the workforce. People are going to argue and say, oh, yeah, well, we can't get jobs. No, you can get fucking jobs. You just choose not to. Okay. Now you have to bring in immigrants to make up the difference, right? So if it was used for that, then I would say, yeah, I got no problem with whatsoever with the immigration system. Fine. But it's not. It's used to manipulate the population, right? Especially if you notice that when there's a Canadian election, for 1 year before that election, the immigration policies get thrown out the window and they start importing fucking immigrants as fast as they can fuck. And as soon as they get here, they're given, free housing, they're given money, they're given fucking free healthcare, they're given everything. And what does that do? The Liberal Party just bought their vote. Look at this. This prime minister is wonderful. He's giving us all of this. We're going to vote for him. And they did it. And they do it. I'm trans woman and I fancy you. I am Spirit. Nice name, by the way. You're a trans woman and you fancy me. Well, you know what? Thank you. Appreciate it. I got a really good woman upstairs sleeping in bed right now, so I'm taken. There you go. My Antifa or Profa, we're not going down that road. Smoking can kill you. Let me tell you something. There's a list as long as my arm of things that are going to kill me long before a cigarette does. You just don't want to submit hundreds of job applications to get nothing. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. There are people in Canada. I'm going to speak for Canada only, and not just well, fucking Americans too. There are people in Canada that are sitting on their couch right now, griping and moaning they can't find a job. It's not that they can't find a job. They're not going to take a $15 an hour job because it's beneath them. So they'd rather sit on their couch and complain. Take the $15 an hour job, doing a job that maybe you don't want to do or you don't like, but at least take the fucking job and then keep looking for something else that you want. But take the fucking job. And they don't do that. People don't do that, Canadians or Americans. I guarantee you. I can't find a job. Yes, you can. There are fucking jobs out there. What do I think about African Americans? What's there to think about? There's no thought process. No difference. They're no different than me or any other fucking color out there in the world. Fuck, that's a silly question. I'm not. What's so hard about speak answering if you're for or against fascism? I'm not. I'm not for fascism. Okay, absolutely not. Does that answer your question? Do black people in Canada refers of African Canadians? No. They call themselves black people. They call themselves black people, man. Is telling people to get a job in itself? If so, Americans are the best employed. Oh, there you I'd agree with that. I'd pay $100 to see someone fill out 100 job applications, not get a single job offer. It's impossible. Somebody will hire you. Jim, agreed. Not me. I'm on the shitter. Well, not me. But I've done my part for fucking the country and my family, and I've raised my children. They're all right. They've all got college. All my kids got college and university educations. They're out on their own. They're living their lives. I've done my part. Right. I'm 55 years old. I trucked for 35 years. I've done my part for the fucking industry. Everything around you, you're welcome. I'd probably at some point or another delivered something that's in your house. Okay. So I've done my part for that. Now it's time for me to kick back with my girlfriend and kind of enjoy my life a little bit. Come on, lung cancer. There you go. Do you have a weapon? No. What do you think about interracial relationships? What's there to think about? Again, it's a silly question. Who cares? Okay, if you want to think about here, I'll give you I'll give here's a perfect example. Okay, in my family alone. Okay, I've got aunts and uncles, right? That are all like my mom's sisters are all white women, obviously, right? My dad's side of the family are all white aunts and uncles, whatever, as well. And as they've all married out, they've married black, uh, Asian. Um, so in my family, I've got black cousins, Asian cousins. Um, in my direct family, one of my daughters is married to a trans. Um, who cares? No, who cares? Like, who gives a flying fuck? You know what my biggest fucking concern is when it comes to all of that is, are they fucking happy? Are they fucking happy? Is my daughter is married to a trans. I don't give a fuck. She's happy. She's a happy fucking woman. She has a very good life. She works hard. Her partner works hard. Who am I to say? I look American. Yeah, okay. Do you think Alberta will become an independent part of the USA? I don't, Bravo 6, I don't think Alberta is going to separate. But let me say this, I don't think they will. And personally, I hope they don't. I'd like to see my country stay as one. I'd like to see it whole. Now, if Quebec threatened us to leave one more time, I say let them go, but that's different. But Alberta, I don't want to see. But in the event that um, Alberta did separate, I wouldn't lose a minute of sleep over it. Okay, I wouldn't. I'm already here, and I'm gonna say this: if you're a Canadian, and let's just say in a million years Alberta does separate, if you are a Canadian, you might want to be here before it happens because good luck getting in afterwards. Here's a question: what is the hardest sport on the planet? Lacrosse. Lacrosse. Canadian perspective on American politics. You have way too many people in the United States. You have way too many politicians. And I'm talking like 90-year-old senators and fucking governors, and not necessarily governors, but senators. You've got way too many people on the fucking gravy train. You really do. You've got people in positions of power that don't even exercise power and don't do anything. There are senators and people in the American government that don't do jack shit. Their staffers have more power than they do and make more sway the country more than they do. I think you guys need a real big fat trim. Canada as well, but not to the degree the Americans do. You guys need to trim the fat, man. Not to mention the salaries, right? The fucking salaries. It's incredible the salaries that the American politicians are making, and they're not earning them. They're not earning them. Would you say you're anti-fascism? Yes, I'm anti-fascism. Can you say hi to my brother? Ooh, almost. Detroit Lions. Would you rather watch? Oh, another one. Look at you go. Did your you did your job? I think so. I've done my part. I'm entitled. American, but no weapon. I'll get to the super chat. I'm going down to it right now. Sorry, I'm way behind. Next cigar on me. Perspective on American politics. Andrew, sorry, you guys are there's 88 of you, so I'm showing about 88 of you, 89 of you in here, and the chat's going like this. So, if I it takes me a while sometimes if I get onto something and I'm talking, 25 comments will go by. So I apologize for that. Um, but I did. I just gave the perspective on American politics. Also, on that, I think um, here's something I think Americans need to learn, and Canadians need to learn this as well. When you guys are voting for politicians, whether it be your governor or at your municipal levels, like mayors and city and towns and whatever like that, and then you get to state level, then you get to federal level. When you guys are voting for politicians, stop voting for politicians that you like. Oh, I like this guy. I like this guy. I like it. You know what? When you vote for politicians, you vote for the politician you dislike the least. I want you to think about that, Andrew, just for a second. Just for a split second. Don't vote for the one you like the most. Vote for the one you dislike the least. Because I guarantee you, they're all crooked. At some point or another, they're all crooked. And the way I look at it is I will look at an agenda. And we'll use Trump, okay? Now, he's not my president, but he's the biggest name out there for politics, right? So you look at Trump, and these numbers aren't true. I'm just pulling these out of my ass. So let's say there's 25 things on his agenda, right? And so you're looking at Trump's 25 things on his agenda, and there are 10 things that you like and 10 things that you don't like. Now you have to make a decision that who you're going to vote for. Go through everybody the same way. You know, I will vote for somebody. Excuse me, sorry. I will vote for somebody, maybe that I sit there and go, "That guy sounds like a bit of a dickhead." But if I look at his agenda of what he's gonna try to do while he's in power, if there's 20 things, if there's 15 things that he does that I kind of agree with and I like, and there's only 5, I'm gonna probably vote for that guy. I'm going to vote for the politician I dislike the least. They're all going to do damage to the country. Every one of them. They all do and they all have, and they always will. So it's your job as the voter to find a guy that's going to do the least amount of damage. It's sad, but that's just the state of the fucking country. It's sad, but that's just the state of how it works, right? They're all gonna wreak havoc on the fucking country. They really are. Now it's up to you to determine, well, which one's gonna do the least amount of damage. Don't swear? Oh, okay. Alberta is most likely going to the US. That won't happen. That was not happening. Glad y'all are living a good life. Thank you. Thank you. Content creator, hockey. Hockey is not the most. I don't know. Content creator, you go watch a lacrosse game and go watch a hockey game. I think you'll change your perspective pretty quick. Surfing can get you eaten. Triple jump for my half of a leg. There you go. Lifetime salary. What's my lifetime salary? Oh, you mean the government? Yeah, they get a lifetime salary. Especially like think about it. Like you got senators. Senators are the worst, right? In the United States. You got senators that are just fucking idiots. 90 years old. This fucking senator's 90 years old. He's been a senator for fucking 50 years, making ridiculous amounts of money. Why? And what's that done for you? Andrew, what's that done for you as an American? What's that done for you or for your country? Nothing. Nothing. The salaries aren't the issue. The stock trading with inside info. Well, Mark. That's a really good point too. How is it possible that a government employee that makes say let's just say 200,000 a year, and they're in this position and they do this for say 10 years, right? But they retire with a net worth of $300 million. And Mark, you hit it right on. Insider trading. And if you think if they say it's not going on, it is. With a job, everyone should invest in the stock markets. Some people don't have that kind of money to be able to, they have extra money to be able to invest in that. If you do, I suggest you do if you get the chance. Times have changed. Our kids are getting worse. They don't obey their parents. They just want to fart and curse. Should we blame the government? Blame Canada. blame blame Canada. Um, you know what, Jim? That's one of those things that today's kids have the mentality that they want it given to them, right? My generation and my parents' generation, they all went to work. My dad was a cop for 31 years in Toronto. He worked his entire life. Me, I worked my life. I've always worked. Our generation, if we wanted something, we went out and worked for it, and we got it, and we earned it, and we got it. Today's day and age, the kids today, it's the what's in it for me, and I want everything. I want a $200,000 a year job, and I want to work 30 hours a week for it, and I want to do nothing. It's unfortunate. Strict parenting is really required for modern kids. But yeah, Messi, the problem with that is, strict discipline. And strict discipline, what's going to happen? That you're going to tell your kid, go clean your room, do your homework, go to school, be respectful to people around you. And the kid's going to turn around and go, fuck you. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do with a fucking 11-year-old that does that to you? Right? In today's day and age, you put a hand on that kid, the cops are at your fucking door. It's there's just it's so much different. It really is. Have your watch, Katra. He's making electronic name nosy. He's in Florida. He's finished with legs nosy. What the fuck are you talking about? Hello from uptown Chicago. Our puppets are legend. OAK Order of Allied Knights Saint. Oh, I don't know what that is. Don't blame me for my son's stand. He saw the darn cartoon and now he's off to join the clan. Blame Canada. I don't think so. Charisma isn't indicative of good policies and practices. You're right. And that's why I say pick the one that dislike the least. You need to stop keeping how it works alive at Wheelburner. Okay. still don't know a better system of government. Well, it's not that you don't know a better system of government. We haven't had one introduced that works. There's probably one out there. Do you think that the US, because the US government would have to be willing to allow another form of government to come in. Do you think that's ever gonna happen? I'm glad they are moving to term limits for Senate and Congress. I didn't know that. That'll help you. This guy is envious. What am I envious of, Richard? Tell me. Boring? Okay, I'm boring. Go ahead. Stroll on. I'm not making you be here. I'm not sitting there with a gun to your head making you look at me. Scroll on. Go find something else that's more interesting. There's probably some kid, sitting in his basement, playing a video game with 7,000 people watching him right now. Go watch that. You need to raise a kid without discernment, not about being strict, but about them being strict for themselves and understanding why. Well, self discipline. You know, one thing I was never my kid's friend. I was always their parent. I didn't become their friend until they became old enough to think for themselves, take care of themselves, and then they move out and into the world. And then, of course, I'm still your father and I'm your parent, but you don't need me to live your life. You're living your life. Too many times today, you look at kids today, and you look at their parents. Their parents are more interested in being their friend. Their parents want the kids to like them. I never needed my kids to like me. I was your parent. I have a job to do. My job and my responsibility is to give you the best chance at life that you can possibly get once you get older and you have to go out and do it on your own. And that is my job. It's not to be your friend, That's not my job. First school is the family. Agreed. Simone Rivet, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. What's up, Granny? Hey, we're doing all right, Granny. Which country in the world is the closest to our ideal version of a country? Ash, that's a good question. I've never even thought of it. Really, I've never really thought of it. Ideal country? It doesn't it's hard to say because, it doesn't matter where you go and what country you go to. There's gonna be good and bad in that country. So, I don't know. I don't know. James Brown, am I religious? No, I don't practice, any type of religion. You seem pretty cool, man, but being a Gen Z dude, it is harder to get things nowadays, like houses and shit. Some of us work very hard, but the cost of living is ridiculous in the US specifically. Uh, Greasy, I agree with that. I look at my kids today, okay, like when I was in my 20s and early 20s and finished whatever and doing I could buy a house, I could buy cars, I was able to attain all of that with the job that I had and the money that I made and you're married, you got a second income, whatever. I could do all of that. Today, and here's an example, okay? The last week I said I was on vacation. At the end of the vacation, I stopped up in Edmonton and visited my one of my daughters and her boyfriend. And there's a two-income family. There's two income. They have no kids, but there's two incomes, and they can't afford to buy a house. They can't afford it. They're renting and they can't afford to buy a house. I've always been able to afford to go out and buy a house, right? And then once I bought my first house, you flip it, you live in a few years, and then your family grows, you buy a bigger house and so forth down the line, and until you get the final house, and then you retire, you sell the house, you take the money and whatever you do, right? Today, not one of my kids, well, actually, that's not true. Sorry, one of my kids, my oldest daughter, owns her own property. Other than that, every one of my kids rents. They can't afford it. They can't co you need to come up with the average cost of a house in Canada is about $600,000. That means you need a minimum down payment of 60 grand. So unless somebody dies and wills it to you, how long is it gonna take you at your current job to save 60 grand? It's gonna take you a long time. You didn't answer, "Want your kids to be like you." That's so weird. I didn't see the question. I'm sorry. I'm skipping questions here. Do I want my kids to be like me? I don't have a say. My ass is killing me. I don't have a say in it. I don't have a say in it. My kids, I look at my children and some of them have a lot of my mannerisms and my idiosyncrasies and some of them don't. Some of them have my morals and my work ethic. Like I said, I've always worked. I've never in my life collected unemployment, never been on welfare, never been on the system in any way. I've always worked. And I'm glad to say that my children have all inherited that. They all work and they're all very hard workers. And for the most part, they're successful in what they do. But do I want them to be like me? No, I want them to be themselves. I want them to be like themselves. I want them to be their own person, their own entity, and go through life and experience their own life's experiences. I don't want them to go through what I went through. You need to find friends and family you trust to purchase property. You cannot survive alone anymore. That's, unless, like I said, unless somebody dies and wills it to you. One thing I'm going to tell you about living in Gen Z, finding a woman to live with for the rest of your life is difficult. Wish I was in the 50s or wish I was in the 50s or the 40s. Um, Let me tell you, absolutely no one. Um, I've been married. I've been married twice. I've got like three, I guess technically three times, right? I got two walk down the aisle for two weddings. And I had a long-term, wife, a common law wife. So let's say I've been married. I've been married three times, and in between had adventures, whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. Finding a partner, a lifelong partner these days is a lot harder. Teach common sense. It's a lost art. But here's the thing: you can teach morals. You can, Doug. You can't teach common sense. Either you have it or you don't. Unfortunately, you can teach morals, you can teach lessons, you can teach a lot of things to your children that'll help them. But if your kid is a fucking doorknob and does not have any common sense, it's not something that can be taught. It's like character. What is the definition of character when talking about a person? A character is what you are, who you are as a person that makes you up. That is your character, right? That can't be taught. It can be swayed or moved, and you can give example and maybe move that person's character to where, but you can't teach character. You can't teach common sense. Either you have it or you don't. That's very true on government, pro and con. And from my travel through the world, USA works the best, even with all the negative. And it's the best until something else better comes along. What type of work do you do, or have you done? No, I'm retired, dude. I was I've been self-employed. I was a truck. I drove truck for 35 years, and for 25 of those, I was self-employed as owner operator. Bing, bing, burr. There you go. Thank you for swearing at a 7-year-old. I didn't ask you to be here, Charlie. Okay, my channel is rated for 18 plus. I don't ask you to be here. You learn by example. Bill, that's true. If you've got good examples, if you've got good role models, if you've got good examples and solid morals, and if you're I would like to say that my mentors were people of decent standing and morals and understanding of life and good character. Yeah, that rubs off. How much is a truck? What, a brand new one? What are you looking at? A brand new truck, today, let's just use, say, like a brand new Freightliner Cascadia. Canadian funds, you're probably north of 200 grand, 210, 220,000. Everybody's buying the cheap houses and selling the for the 250 plus, trying to get quick rich. That's the issues. Well, Trent, that happened because of the bubble, right? When COVID and everything like that, housing prices went through the fucking roof, and anybody that had a house, and I'll be honest with you, I was one of them, right? I sold one of my houses in that bubble. Why? Because I paid 400,000 for it and I got 899 for it 3 years later. Yeah, I took advantage of that. Was that a get rich quick? No, it was a good investment, right? Because then I was able to turn around and buy another house. How was your day today? Well, Rafi, I'm doing all right. I'm dying to get inside and get another coffee, but you guys will not shut up long enough for me to do it. Mandingo, thoughts on Indian people? Love them. You look like you're hot-headed. Chicken strangler? You've got that's a good name. Nice handle on there. Chicken strangler. Good name. Hot-headed? No. Used to be. Used to be. Used to be very quick-tempered and quick to judge. Um, and I'm talking a long time ago. And I think having children brings that down, and experiencing life and living life will change that as well. Today, no. Am I quick-tempered? Am I a hothead today? No. I don't to say that I don't get angry. Yeah, sure, I get pissed off and here and there and whatever like that. It's just I don't react the same way as I used to, right? I don't hit first, ask questions later. Bro, you have a song? I don't. Honestly, saying you can't teach a kid common sense is a cop out and failure as a parent. A kid is a blank slate that can be taught anything outside of developmental issues. Now, that's well said, and I agree. But let's just face it: common sense is something that you're born with. And as you get older, it develops within you. You don't teach common sense. You teach morals, which will sway and guide common sense, but you can't teach common sense. You have it or you don't. It's just simple. Charlie, get a job? No, you get a job. You're 7 years old. You go get a job. I worked for 35 years. How much more do you want me to work? I've done my part. I feel sorry for you, Jack. I really do. At 7 years old, you don't know what the fucking world's got in store for you yet. Really. So you might want to get a job now. Tell your mom you're dropping out of school and you're going to get a job because you're going to need it. Just join. However, I'm learning some lessons as I respect elders like you. And you know what? Thank you. That's nice of you to say that. I appreciate that. But I'm not telling you anything here that's original. Anything that I say here, again, is my own thoughts and my own opinions, but it's stuff it's things that have been passed on to me from my mentors or from people that have influenced me in my life. You know, some of it has not always been the best advice, but then, life is one of those things you get the test first and the lesson later, right? Think about that, about life. You get the test first and the lesson later. So I've made my mistakes and I learn from my mistakes, but I've also in my life, whether it be my personal life, my business life, whatever, I've got some very, very good mentors. I've done the best I can to surround myself with the best people I possibly can. And that's where I turn to when I need advice or if I want to know something or, I don't know fucking everything. There's no way in the world I could know everything in the world. So if I don't have the answer, I got to go find it somewhere. Today's answer to everything for everybody is fucking Google. We're in Canada. James, I'm in Strathmore, Alberta. I think he never had a problem with wind ruining his hair. Oh, Sheik, I did. Believe me, I did. Nothing new under the sun. You know what? I'm under the sun. I knew I should have been buying a house while I was in elementary school, but not out enjoying my childhood on the playground. You know what? You almost got to think that way. You really do. Cody, it's funny that way. You know, it's a sad state. I don't know, like, I've got, like I said, I got the 6 daughters, and none of them can really afford to buy a house, but I've also got I've got a 3-year-old granddaughter, and man, to think about where she has to go through life and I can't even think about the next 35 years of her life. What the planet's gonna be like, what the country's gonna be like, what the people are gonna be like, what the world is gonna it's if you'd have told me 30 years ago that I'd be able to sit here in my backyard and talk to a phone and be talking to people all over the world, I'd be telling you you're full of shit. Go blow it. You know? Dave T, how old are you? I'm 55, man. Parlez-vous français? No. No, I don't. No, Brett Favre? No. 6, what the hell? Kept trying for the boy. Couldn't do it. 6 daughters, going for the boy, couldn't do it, and then start having grandkids and got a granddaughter. Couldn't even get a grandson. There's time though. There's time. Christy, yeah, 6 daughters. Yeah, I've earned every gray hair on this face. Trust me, that's a lot of estrogen running around the house when they were younger. Cody, it's already here now. You can yeah, you can buy a house now, pay later, I think with DoorDash. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Should have tried a different position. Brother, I tried them all. I tried them all. Everything from hanger from the chandelier to fucking turn hanger off the end of the bed. Oh, dude, let me tell you. Let me tell you though, I think many a night I was working a lot harder than she was. Do you have a favorite daughter? Or what do the other daughters think about that? Asking as a fellow daughter. You know what, Ash? Do I have a favorite? No, you can't say you have a favorite, but do I have a couple of daughters that I'm closer to than I would say than others? Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of daughters that I'm much closer to than I am to the other ones. That doesn't mean I don't love them anymore. I don't love them any less. I don't it just happens that's just the way it works, right? Their interests fall in line a little bit more with mine. So yeah, I'm a little closer to them because I have more in common or they have more in common with me, right? Like that. But do I have a favorite daughter? No, no, absolutely not. Parent always have a favorite, but a good parent will never say. Christy, you're on it. Varun from India. I do the same with two of them. It's hard not to. It's hard not to. Really. I'm getting coffee. You guys chat. Talk trash about me. Whatever you got to do. Do whatever you got to do. I'm going to get coffee. Hold on. Can you give me a shout out? I'm 11 subs away from 500. Nordic Aviation needs 11 subs. Somebody go hook them up. Be right back. You can still hear me though, because I'm wearing the earbuds. If I could hook this shit up intravenously and just pump it into my arm, I'd be a happy cowboy. I really would. Almost done. Oh, good. That is so good. My apologies. Here we go. Oh, there's more inflation happening with corporate companies buying land than renting that land to their own renter companies. That's going on up here. Cody, I don't know where you're from, but that's going on in Canada big time right now. Big time. Two milks, two sugars, please. Yeah, that's what I got. Double double. Bro, this is the moment. You can do it. Believe me, bro, you can do it. The time is now. Okay. Don't ever doubt about yourself. Be the reason your last name means something. One day, keep it up, champion. That's pretty nice. Thank you. The kitchen is only about fucking 15 feet. So I don't know if they disconnected or not. Up the fuel pump pressure so it rolls coal. Well, we're about to roll some coal because I'm about to light this fucking bad boy up. I am about to light this bad boy up. I have been looking forward to smoking this thing for 3 days. There you go. Nordic, you might have got a few subs. There you go. Handsome gentleman. There, me talking shit. Oh, thanks. Riding Northern Lights. Pretty cool handle. We got the Northern Lights here where I'm at. I have Scottish descent, partially. James, I did the ancestry.ca thing, right? Where you do the DNA swap, send it in, and they give you back. I came back Icelandic, Scottish, and German. So basically, I'm a drunk Viking. A drunk Viking. That's what I come up as. So I'm a drunk Viking. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I got Northern Lights on my mug too. I do. Look at that. There you go. Oh, nice cigar, goat beard. Thank you. As I said before, this one I've never tried this one before. I am a big Rocky Patel cigar smoker, and this is a Rocky Patel winter edition. I've never had this, and we're about to light this up. I clipped it before I brought it out here. Well, you shouldn't smoke alone. I'll have a cigarette with you. Christy, light them up, smoke them if you got them, babe. Do you see weeds? Do you see smoke weed? Do I smoke weed? I do not. I'm a recovered drug addict, so I don't smoke. I don't smoke weed, and I don't do any kind of drugs. Damn, dude, you found the fountain of youth of something. I don't know. I don't know. This could be a facade. I'm gonna tell you. I'm 55, and I might look okay, but let me tell you, there's some mornings I get out of bed. I'm feeling 105. So, Stephanie, I don't know where Chicken Hawk is. Before you ask, I don't know where Chicken Hawk is. He hasn't been in. I haven't seen him in a while, actually. I know that he's busy. He just bought another brand new truck. He bought a gorgeous, he sent me pictures of it the other day, and I was talking to him the other day. Sent a beautiful 2025 W990 VIT. So it's fully loaded. I mean, the seats not only fucking have heat and air, but it'll jerk you off while you're driving or tickle you if you're a woman. That's how nice this truck is. So I know that he's got his hands full with business right now. Some people sent tests as samples of animals. I know this, if you're ever going to do it, remember this. And I didn't realize this till afterwards. When you send that in there, you also sign away the rights to that DNA. Ancestry owns the rights to that DNA and they can do whatever they fucking want with it. I didn't realize that beforehand. I would not have done it if I'd have known that. It's a boy are the best cigars. I'd love it's a boy cigar. All I got was it's a girl cigar. Bought cigars in Cuba, nice cigars. The Cuban cigars are good. Again, like I said before, they're overrated. I think that the Nicaraguans and the Hondurans and even the Dominicans are now making cigars better than the Cubans. Drake G, what's going on? What up, big man? What are you puffing on today? Well, we've got a nice Rocky Patel we're gonna light as soon as I get to the bottom of these comments. Ever smoke a cigar called Michael Jordan? No, no, I've never smoked one of those. Just buy vape. I used to vape. It didn't do nothing for me. I smoke weed at day and alcohol at night. I don't do any of that. Your mom, I like smoke cigars called blunt. Do I watch the OFC? You mean UFC? No, I used to. I lost interest after George St. Pierre and Michael Bisping fight. That's where I kind of tapered off and kind of lost interest in the UFC. I did watch a couple of Conor McGregor's fights, but after that, no. Now, give me a second. Here, you want to try it? Anybody want to try it? Oh, Pro wrestling is more fun to watch. It's pro wrestling is good entertainment. I don't watch it. I did just watch the thing on the WWE, on Netflix. It was really interesting. Do I wear cologne? No, no, not a cologne, not a big cologne wearer. I own, one. It's, Givenchy, it's Pi. It's the only one I own. How's work, how's life, how's the veggies? Well, in that order, how's work? Retired. How's life? I just spent a week up in the mountains with Victoria, and we had a fucking blast, and we had a really good time. I got to visit with 2 of my kids and one of my granddaughter. So life is going well, and the veggies, you know better than to ask that. Mm. Lewis, I got a Rocky Patel real label I'm puffing on right now. Um, I suggest if you like Rocky Patels, I suggest you go find this cigar. I've never smoked it before. This is the first couple of puffs I've had. This is me just getting it going and getting into it, getting through the first flavor here. Let me fucking tell you, man, it's good so far. I just finished a 15-year. This is the one I just finished. It's a Rocky Patel special, a 15-year special edition. Another good one. Another good one. If you're a Rocky Patel fan, go get them. That's a stick in your mouth. Yeah, yeah. Well, Alec Bradley actually makes one called the Texas Ranchero. Okay. It's 10 and a half, almost 11 inches long. And this is a 60. So it's a big, it's a big cigar. And I think it's bigger than a 60. And let me tell you, it is a big fucking cigar. It takes you a while to get through that. I drink till I'm high and smoke till I'm drunk. There you go. Good evening. There's Craig Rat. Good evening, Brian. Stood in the aisle of the local soap. I'm borrowing the Wi-Fi. There you go. Go get it. If you don't have it, go steal it. R.I.P. lungs. You don't inhale these. G-Bup. You don't inhale these. You don't inhale cigars. Frag Rat is in the house, so we've got a moderator. So watch your p's and q's. Say what you want to me, because just be respectful and courteous to everybody else, and watch your racial slurs. There's to be no racial slurs in here whatsoever. Crag Rat will take you out on it. You could never smoke a day in your life and probably wouldn't make it to 55 years old. Your mom, well, I'm 55 years old and I've been smoking cigars since my early 20s. I'd say like 21. I started smoking like daily cigars, and I've smoked cigarettes off and on. Right. I've smoked for years and then stopped, and gone 8, 9 years and stopped, and then started again, back and forth. But your mom, yeah, but I don't want to cough daily till I'm 55. Well, if you're going to smoke, you're going to get some of that. I'm a pro wrestler on the indie scene for 15 years. Should try fresh indie feds in Canada. One dream I have to wrestler in Canada. You know what? I don't know nothing about that. I truly don't. It's one of those areas I couldn't even comment on it. I have a few of them before. Love them. Yeah, I my 2 favorites, Alec Bradley right now, Alec Bradley and Rocky Patel, my 2 favorite cigars. Don't get me wrong, you hand me a Monte Cristo number 2, fuck yeah, I'm gonna smoke it. Even if you handed me a Cohiba, I'll smoke it. I'm not, obviously. Um, a lot of the Dominicans, are very good as well. I'll smoke them, but my go-to cigars are Rocky Patel and Alec Bradley. I've never seen a cigarette that big. Did you make it yourself? Sorry, I'm wrong. No, these are the cigars. I didn't roll this. What province are you in? I'm in Alberta. I'm in Strathmore, Alberta. I make some of the best cigars out there. 15-year specials are very nice too. And you know what I like about them, Lewis, is they don't break the bank. Right? You go right now in Canada. I don't know where you're at there, man, but in Canada, you go buy like a Monte Cristo number 2, right? Like, supposed to be one of the premier cigars of the world. And that in Canada, that's a $65 cigar. For what? A $65 cigar? Yeah, it's a good cigar. And yeah, it's Cuban. The Monte Cristos that you get in the United States are not Cubans. Those are Dominicans licensed to do them in the Dominican, and to sell them in the U.S. That's how they got around the ban on them. But anyway, but if you smoke, and if you want better cigars, like good quality cigars that are on par, if not better than Cubans, go with Nicaraguans and Hondurans, man. Biggest cigar that you've ever smoked was that Alec Bradley Ranchero. Go, Goat Beard, go Google that. When you'll see it. I could literally pick up that cigar like this. Well, yeah, I could do it with this one too, but it's not quite. I could pick up that cigar. I could fucking hit you with it and probably knock you out with it. That's how big it was. What's better, alcohol or cigarettes? In which way? I don't drink, right? Like I've said, I'm a recovered drug addict. So I don't do any kind of drugs. But along with that, I also gave up drinking as well. So I don't drink and I don't do drugs. So what's better, alcohol or cigarettes? Alcohol would probably fucking kill me, a lot faster than cigarettes will. How far do I smoke a cigar? Well, the last one I smoked down to, like, I got a nub. I don't like to give them away. That's money, right? A Monte Cristo is the number one cigar in the world. Well, it is on the world stage, I guess. There's still, if you go look at Cigar Aficionado, I think I said that right. The magazine, I think the Monte Cristo number two is still probably what they rate the best cigar. But no, there's a lot. Upmans are great cigars. Rocky Patels are great cigars. And again, it's on the price point. Do you really, really, really want to smoke a $60 fucking cigar? You're the one actor from Breaking Bad that's so cool. No, I'm not from Breaking Bad. Most Cubans aren't even Cubans. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Being in Canada, we get Cuban cigars, so we don't have to get the knockoffs, right? They don't come up here because we're allowed to have the Cubans. There's a lot more, say, knockoffs per se in the US. Like I said, the Romeo and Juliet is, in the US, those are Dominican, they're not Cubans. The Monte Cristos in the US that you get, those are Dominican, they're not Cubans. They'll advertise as a Cuban cigar, but they're not. I roll my own cigarettes, less chemicals in them. Yeah, there you go. I'll take a Rocky Patel Red Label over MC any day of the week. Personal opinion, better flavor, best pricing, and they don't fall apart like MCs. I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you. From all areas, from the roll, right? The roll, the leaf, the tobacco, um, the flavor, and the price point. I think the Nicaraguans, the Rocky Patels, and Alex Bradleys, I think they are way above the Cubans. Looks like a turd. It don't taste like a turd. I wish Canada had a bike week or just an Ocean City. Just in Ocean River for our 3rd year. It's always awesome. We do. We don't have a bike week per se, but we do have. You coming in? All right. Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Appreciate it. We have, like, you guys got big Daytona Bike Week, and then there's Sturgis, and then we have one in Ontario. It's called Port Dover. It's Friday. It's always on Friday the 13th. Port Dover, and it's and all the big boys, all the big boys come up from the States. A Monte Cristo sandwich. Yeah, that's what it should be. That Alec Bradley wasn't a cigar, it was a fence post. No, you're right. Crag Rat it was. It would take me 4 hours to smoke that. I could if I wanted to, if I was driving the truck, if I was working and driving the truck, I'd bang this off in an hour. I'd smoke this in an hour or less. But out here, I'm talking, chatting, blah, 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 blah. So this will take probably a couple of hours to get through. But that Alec Bradley, that Ranchero, holy fuck, the Texas Ranchero? Oh yeah, that's a 4-hour stick. Do you no, you don't inhale cigars. Beer is good for you. Barley, hops, yeast. What's bad about that? Nothing. Riding Northern Lights, I 100% agree. I do agree. Cigar smoking is a personal taste choice, okay? A good cigar. It's a matter of opinion on what constitutes a good cigar. I've smoked, $100 cigars, and I've smoked fucking $8 cigars. It just depends on what the taste is and what your mood is and what you're feeling that day, you know? Stephanie, you ever go down to Daytona for Bike Week? I don't know if Stephanie has. I've been down. I think at some point in our lives, at some point in my life, 2-4 and I are gonna go down. He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't have a clue that he's going, but at some point or another, 2-4 and I are going down to Daytona for Bike Week. Love the smell of fuel and being around all the bikers, enjoying the food and good rides and times. Love it. Love it. Mike Newman, "Oh, Canada, we are so fucked. Oh, Canada, we will trade for Russian cheap whiskey." Well, you can keep your Rush. Canada makes some of the best whiskey in the world. I don't know what you're talking about there. We don't need to trade for cheap whiskey. We make some of the best whiskey in the world, man. Go look that up. Canada's on the world stage for whiskey, not bourbon, whiskey. I think the Americans still have the bourbon market cornered. Do I regret not having the experience of raising a son? Pardon my nosy. No, you're not being nosy at all, Ash. Do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. I'm a lucky man. I am truly blessed with six daughters. I have no regrets. Would I have liked a son? Sure, everybody would like a fucking son. Everybody does that. Well, who's going to carry on your name? Well, uh, several of my daughters kept their last name. They took their partner's name or hyphened or whatever, but they kept their last name. So my last name is going to carry on. My younger brother has two kids, and he's got a son, so the name will carry on. So I don't have to worry about that. Would I have liked to have a son? Sure. Come on, why? Who wouldn't? Right? If you've got that many kids, who wouldn't want to at least try out? But, do I have a regret? No, no regrets. The only thing about having that many daughters, and I'm gonna tell you this, is I'd be out on the road, and if I was coming home off the road, I always had to double check and make sure it wasn't PMS week, because there would be, like, your wife, and then at any given time, there was at least 3 of the kids, if not 4, at home, living at home, especially when they were in their teen years, right? So if I was coming in off the road during PMS week, because all their bodies click into sync. Let me fucking tell you, there was a couple of times I come in off the road, and it was like, you know what? Nope, nope. Get on the phone, get another load. I'll see you guys in a couple more days. Nope, I am not walking into a house with 4 or 5 women all PMSing. I will not do it. It just doesn't fucking happen. Let me fucking tell you, that is a lot of estrogen running around that house. Forget it. Forget it. And I've done it. I've literally picked up the phone, called my wife, and says, "You know what? An emergency came up. There's a load going to fucking New York City. It pays ridiculous. It's going to take me an extra 3 days." And I'd go get it because I'm not going home during PMS week. Absolutely out of your mind. I've been at home during PMS week, and I've seen furniture fly. Okay? That's how nasty some of these, like, how bitchy some of these girls get. I've seen fucking furniture fly across a room. I'm like, no part of that." At least all their cycles, were together, yeah. For the most part, they were always. The second youngest, hers was always out, right? Always out of sync with everybody else's, but, she wasn't too bad with PMS. The other ones, let me fucking tell you, I would rather stand here right now and let all 65 of you take turns kicking me in the dick rather than go home and during PMS week. Absolutely not. It doesn't get better as they head into their later years. Well, yeah, but in their later years, they're not living under my roof. Right? All 6 of them have moved out, right? All 6 of them are gone. They're living on their own. That I look at it now, it's like, that's somebody else's problem, you know? That's somebody else's problem, man. I'm not dealing with 5 4 or 5 or whatever, all of them PMSing. And then when they finally do get it, they can finally get their period, then it turns into fucking, I should have invested in Kleenex, right? Because 'Cause they're all crying and moaning and, oh my god. Again, estrogen, man. Estrogen. Damn, you still alive? Yeah, we're still going. I don't know what we at here for time. I don't know, 205 minutes. What is that? 3 hours, 4 hours? You're like my dad. Well, Gary, hopefully that's good. Christy, at least a cycle together and you're not stuck with a one a week and screwed all month. No, that's true. That's true. Um, thank God. Thank God, because I'd probably still be out in the road. Right? There's no fucking way I'd be going home if say 2 of them were the 1st week, 2 of them were the 2nd week, 2 of them were the 3rd week, and then the wife was the 4th week. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. How old are you? Not making fun of. Oh, I wouldn't care if you were making fun of me. Maximus, I'm 55. I'm 55 years old. I'll be 56 in December. You'd be living in your garage. No, I'd be living in the truck because I most of the time I owned a home where I could bring my truck and trailer and everything home with me. So, and it has happened. There's been times where shit's going on in the house, and I'm like, "I'm not dealing with this shit." I've got a TV, microwave, I've got, internet, I've got everything in my goddamn truck, right? Nobody knows where dad is. He's out in his truck, watching movies, you know. Hello from Russia. First and last name. Good to see you from Russia. Sammy is 67, 56 in December. Yeah, I'll be 56 in December. Also a girlfriend in the truck. Also a girlfriend in the truck. No, 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 no. No, no, no. There's only one mama at home. You don't have girlfriends in the truck. Hello, I come from YouTube Live to troll comment sections, but you seem cool, so I will just be on my way. Hey, troll away if you really want to. Knock yourself out. I appreciate it. Thanks. You drove a tractor, Peterbilt. Christy, I've owned a Peterbilt. I've owned 3 Kenworths, 1 Peterbilt, 1 Volvo. I've owned 1 Freightliner. Now, those are the personal trucks that I've driven, that I've owned, that I've driven. But at times I've owned multiple trucks and had people working for us. So I've owned a couple of Freightliners, a Mack, another Volvo. But my personal trucks, I've had 3 Kenworths. I've had a T800, 2 W9s. I've had the Volvo. I've had the Pete. I've had the Cascadia, which I sold, the Freightliner. So 67. There you go. Give me some advice. Hardix, you want some advice? Don't let your dick run your life. Don't let your dick run your life. Where is this? Addis, I'm in Canada. I'm in Alberta, Canada. Mm, not bad. Not bad. It's all it's cracked up to be. Yeah, Canada, nice. That's not bad. It beats what's in 2nd place, that's for sure. Mm. I got about 2 mouthfuls of coffee, and we'll get a little bit more into this stogie, and then I'm gonna call it a day. It's been a good chat today. You guys have killed it today. A lot of good questions. A lot of good conversation. I don't mind, you guys can ask anything you want. Anything you want, you can ask. I got no problem with it. Like I said, as long as you're courteous to other people in the chat and there's no racial slurs or anything like that, you're welcome to ask anything you want. And today's been a good day. You guys have had some really good questions. We've had some really good conversations, some really good opinions. Even if I don't agree with you, at least I will respect your opinion and look at it. Go, okay, that's a different way to look at things. We've had a lot of that. Do I have any regrets? Do you have any regrets about your life? Um, wow, that's a tough question. The cigars are Rocky Patel. It's called a winter collection. I've never smoked one. It's the first time smoking one. It's out. It just came out. Do I have any regrets? I've spoken already about one regret. One regret is that I never served my country in the military and represented my country. I never took up arms for my country. That is a regret. I don't lose sleep over it, but yeah, it's a regret. Um, I don't have a lot of other regrets. Anything that I would have already regretted, through my recovery, I've gone back and rectified. So if there was a regret that I've done something or caused harm or hurt or whatever to people, places, or things, I've been able to go back in my life and rectify the situation to the best of my ability. So do I have any regrets in this? Not really. Australia, I believe. Oh no, we're not in Australia. We're in Canada. I'm gonna get super high on your behalf, brother. I like your vibe. You know what? Knock yourself out. Go get it. The higher, the better. Now that you're older, have you ever crapped your pants? Not yet. Not yet. But the day will come. The day will come, Thomas. I guarantee you. At some point or another, we're not going to make it to the shitter, and it's going to happen. I don't know. Yeah. Do you notice anything from the Trump tariffs? Not really. Not really. But then, when I was working, when I was trucking, yes, I noticed that it affects certain rates. And when bringing freight from Canada down to the US, the tariffs would certainly tack on, and we got slower at certain points depending on the commodity, especially if we were dealing with steel or lumber, any kind of steel, any kind of metal like aluminum, copper, steel, anything like that. The tariffs really got slapped on, so that slowed it down. Um, Especially actually on aluminum. Aluminum was a really big one that really, really took a big beating, so that slowed it down, but it didn't stop it. In my personal life, have no. Am I gonna do some DoorDash? No, I'm retired. I do not do DoorDash. Mm. What country do I wanna be reborn in? I don't know. I'm quite content right where I'm at. Um, be honest with you, I don't know because I've never been to Europe, I've never been to South America, I've never been to any of those countries where you would where I could have an opinion, so I don't know. Thomas, you're 67. Hang on, buddy. The ride's getting only gonna get better. Just clench when you cough, you'll be okay. Okay. Advice taken, thank you. Do you miss that fine man Trudeau? No, let me tell you something this right now. If Justin Trudeau was in my swimming pool right now and he was drowning, the only way I would save his life would be to take my foot off his head. What's on the agenda for the rest of the night? Well, Victoria's going on to it's her first day back, so she's going on to night shift, so she's in bed. We stayed up most of the night trying to stay up as long as possible so she could sleep most of the day because she's got to go into work for 6:30 tonight. So she's on night shift. So for the rest of my night after she goes to work is I'm probably just gonna fucking Netflix it, man. I'm just gonna probably Netflix it. I'm gonna find something and just get into it, and I don't know. He likes a fat, dark cigar. This one's not too dark, not that bad. What do you do for a living? Man, I'm retired. Eamon, how are you? I'm doing good, man. Hopefully you're doing well. I wish I was born there. Trudeau, whatever. He's a dude. Yeah, Christie's a douchebag. Man, I'm new to cigars. What are you smoking? A Rocky Patel Winter Edition. That isn't, is that Cuban? No, it's Nicaraguan. Fart on live, bro. Dude, I've already farted like half a dozen times. You guys just didn't hear it. Sorry. You want to try a really good cigar? Try a Arturo Fuente. I've smoked those. They are good cigars. And they're and Thomas, they're really good at again, they're really good on the price point. They're not bad. Looks oddly Canadian. Are you in Alberta? Yeah. Bang on. Look at this. Pass the sauce, you got it. Where are you from? Well, I'm in Canada. I'm in Alberta, but I'm originally from Ontario. I was born in Toronto. Me, I'm smoking a huge fat joint. I'm getting as high as possible and dedicating it to you. I like your vibe. Well, you know what? You fucking when you're done with that one, light another one. Keep it going. The other cigar I really like is a Party Guide. I can't say that I've smoked one. What do I think of Romeos? They're good cigars. If you get the Cuban ones, not the Dominican ones, right? If you get the Cubans, Romeos, they're good cigars. I enjoy them. If you snip one up and light it, man, I'll smoke it with you. I like them. I like them. What's your name? My name is Brian. I can tell by the big blue sky, Alberta better than Ontario. Oh, let me tell you, it's a good way of life out here. It's a good way of life out here. Always thought Canada was wildlife with kangaroos everywhere. You see them often. There's no kangaroos in Canada. No kangaroos in Canada. If there is, it'd be in a zoo, but there's no, you want kangaroos, you go to Australia or New Zealand, as far as I know. I don't think Canada's got any there's no wild kangaroos in Canada. We got everything else. No kangaroos. What do you think of New Zealand? I've never been to New Zealand. Um, my dad's been there a few times, but I've never been. So I don't really have an opinion on that. Have you had a Don Julio before? Yes, I have. And did I like it? Yes, I did. Do you have a cigar collection? I won't say that I have a collection. I usually go when I buy my cigars, I will usually go out and get anywhere from 8 to 10. I have a humidor in the house and I had a humidor in my truck when I was driving and I was on the road, so I'd have a humidor there, but I got a humidor in the house, so I'll buy 8 to 10 and they stay in the humidor and when I want one. I don't smoke them like I used to. I'm not a complete cigar pig. I like Romeo with some scotch and steak. Um, that's a good way. The scotch I can't do, but the steak I can do, no problem. Hussein, good to see you, man. How the hell are you? Peace and love from Toronto. Oh, Zephyr, I won't hold that against you. I was born there. I can't. Wouldn't want to live there though. Mm. Have you ever been to Scotland? No, no. But my ex-wife moved there. And I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. Name a car for an edit. A 1963 split window Corvette. We have kangaroos in our court system in the US. Red Cloud. No kangaroos in New Zealand, only Australia. You should come to New Zealand. We'd love to have you. Lee, I would love to. I've got a daughter that lives in Melbourne in Australia, and we are making probably next year, we're making a trip down there. And so New Zealand would not be like to make a hard left in Australia and take a trip over to New Zealand. I got no. Favorite shape of cigar? Well, preferably fucking actually, I prefer the round ones. I don't like the pressed, where they come out like the square or they come out like rectangular. Myself personally, I like the round ones. I like Churchills, good cigars. What's the worst load you ever delivered? Um, I I hated I hated doing like hay or these guys kind of cutting or the plastic viaduct hoses that they're all because they move around on the flatbeds. I hated doing those. Those were a pain in the ass. Worst load, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Christy, I've been very fortunate. I've never had a serious accident in a truck. I've never had an accident in a truck. I've never had serious problems. I'm one of those guys that actually I'm really lucky. I've never really had a big issue. Um, mm, your national animal is a beaver. Yeah. And our national sport is lacrosse. Go figure. You are pro Second Amendment. Pro Second Amendment? Floyd, I'm Canadian. We don't have the amendments up here. We don't. Sir, please need your help. With what? Fed vibes on this guy? I don't think so. For a novice cigar enthusiast, what would be a cheap and easy way to make a humidor like out of mason jar or something? No, you got to make it out of wood. It's got to be made out of cedar. Um, I don't know. I've never made a humidor. I've always bought one, right? The one I've got in the house is bought, and it's a decent size. It'll hold up to about 200 cigars. My mom died from smoking. Well, Avery, I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody's, I'm sure at some point or another lost somebody from smoking. But is that going to stop me from doing it? Probably not. I only cooked fried eggs and white rice. Well, there you go. I'll give you money if you stop vaping. No, we're good, thanks. Oh my God, that's a whopper. That's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not gonna get through this whole thing right now, though. I'm probably gonna, like I said, I got about a mouthful and a half of coffee, so we're gonna finish this coffee and then we're gonna call it a day. Let the cigar put itself out, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow. Mm, Here we go.